Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay, one more. I feel like I need more. I feel a little needy this morning. I need a little more love than that. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you. I'm Christina Alicea. I'm the Artistic Director of Vermont Stage, and welcome to Vermont Young Playwrights. This is our, and I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, this is our 28th year doing Vermont Young Playwrights. Yes. We've been doing it uninterrupted, well, 1 year during the pandemic, we don't count that year. For 28 years, since 1994, we have been working to bring youth voices to our stage, teaching them the art of playwriting right here in Vermont. So thank you all so much for being a part of this amazing program that has continued on and on because of your participation over these years. I really appreciate all of that. And I do need to extend some thanks to some folks before we begin. I just want to thank our festival co-sponsor, Main Street Landing, for hosting us in this beautiful space that we share with them. Thank you so much to them. Sorry, I need to open my program. I also want to thank all of our staff at Vermont Stage, Main Street Landing. If you are a teaching artist, so the way the program functions, as you all know, is we have amazing local theater artists who are also playwrights that go into the schools and work with the students and teach them about playwriting. And this is the culminating event of that. So I just want to have our teaching artists who went into the schools and worked with you all to stand and be recognized. That's Shoshana Beret, Ethan Bowen, Chris Caswell, Jordan Gullickson, Seth Jarvis, Mary Beth McNulty, Susan Palmer, and Gideon Seaforce. And I also want to thank all of the awesome teachers who continue to be a part of this program every year and believe in its impact. And I would love our teachers to stand and be recognized too. So Abby Baker, Sue Brennan, Kiana Bromley, Vicki Bronson, Jenny McKenzie, Kara Medvid, Susan Palmer, and Eric St. John. Thank you. I also want to thank the Media Factory for live streaming this show for us, for this whole event today. So thanks to all of them. So we do have some, our honorable mention playwrights. So there are 3 winners today. There's the staged readings, which we're going to be doing later this afternoon. We're doing the cold readings throughout the day today in this room. And then we also have our honorable mentions who also need to be recognized today because they wrote awesome plays. And we just don't have the space to do everything. But they wrote wonderful, beautiful plays, and I just want to recognize them. So if you have an honorable mention play, I'd love for you to stand and be recognized as well. That's Eleanor Brady, who wrote Moon Mutuality, and Eliza Rubel, The Misadventures of Sierra the Quack, Eliza Doucet, Unconditional, Hayden Stevenson, Shirt Colors and Mini Golf, Charlotte Brault wrote The Letter, Ian Bradett wrote Diffusal, Lily James Roberts wrote The Ninth Tattoo, and Izzy Shrout wrote Room 109.
Good morning, everyone. Woohoo! Oh, this is my favorite day of the year. I'm so excited that you're all here, and I know that everybody involved is excited that you're here too. Are you feeling good? Yes, yes. One more time, are you feeling good? Okay. Woo! So we have 90 minutes, a little bit less than 90 minutes together. It'll go quickly, but I will also be doing a little stretch break in the middle of some of our plays. After, we do a couple plays. We have 4 plays to do together as cold readings. It's a thrilling process because this is, It's so essential for writers and playwrights in particular to be able to hear their words read out loud and to be able to sort of witness how they land on people. So active members of audiences are incredible to be able to help playwrights kind of hear what their play is. We sort of, as writers, we leave ourselves breadcrumbs for our next draft, and that's something that's really, really special to learn as you grow in your education and as you write throughout your life. Anything you're writing, the revision process is a gift, and to view it as such is really, really, really helpful. And so this is sort of like that active piece where we as audience are here to not only support one another, because we're all in this together, we're doing this amazing work together, but also because we know that it's a work in progress. Everything's always shifting, and to be able as a writer to hear your words and then sort of consider, ooh, how did that land? Or, oh, I wonder if I maybe might want to change that line of dialogue. Or, ooh, I wonder if I move that stage direction here. It's such a gift, and it's really, really great. And I encourage you to keep doing that. Keep reading your own plays out loud. Gather together, read your plays out loud. Keep it going. So before we start, what I'd love to do is to sort of just give an overview of what we'll be doing. What we have, like I said, we have 4 plays. And folks, this is Sid. Let's give a little, hey, thank you, Sid. And a person from Media Factory who is back there on the camera. Hello, what is your name? Scott. Doug? Scott. Scott? Doug. Scott, it's Scott. Don't mess with me, man. I haven't had enough coffee. Scott, thank you so much. We're so delighted that you're here, and we appreciate your help in working with the tech stuff. Because what we want to do is ensure that we have the ability to, we're going to be sharing our feedback. We'll have, after each play is read, we will be sharing our feedback through a lovely discussion, and so the playwright can sort of be a part of that as well, not only to celebrate their work, but also to help them wherever they want to move with their work from here. But so we'll be able to do that out loud here in this space, and you can also text your reaction or questions or anything that you want through regarding the play, and you'll see alongside the, what are they called? The aisles on the seats there, the directions on how to text. So if you're not able to see that, let me know. But you'll be able to participate in multiple ways. So what we're going to do when we start, we're going to start with our first play, and we'll have the playwright stand, and then we'll call our cast down. There will be a person reading stage directions, and then the actors will read the words out loud. And what we'll do is, what we're going to be as active audience members, we're going to be thinking about the things that we all learned through this process, which as a teaching artist through this program, which I love, the teaching artists, we go into schools and we sort of, we give the building blocks. Here are the ingredients for a play, dialogue, stage directions, conflict, climax, resolution, all the different pieces that make a play, right? And we as writers and audience members can sort of have our ears peaked for hearing who's the protagonist, who's the antagonist, what are their wants, what's the conflict, what's the climax, just sort of thinking about that as we're witnessing the plays, right? And then when we have our feedback discussion, we'll sort of, we're going to say what's working, what do we love, what are we responding to, and then any questions that we have for the playwright. So it's sort of an enhanced version of what the cold reading process might have been during your workshop sessions. We're doing a souped up version of that here. Any questions about anything that I've just blah? No? No questions. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So I think we should get right to it. What we're going to do, I'm going to get my program because I should have had that out already. Like I said, we have 4 plays today in our first session. Thanks for sticking with me here. And our first play is Shut In by Gemma Lies. Gemma, would you please stand? Where are you, Gemma? Gemma! 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 Gemma. Gemma, Gemma, Gemma. All right, great. So, to help us hear Gemma's play, who are the folks who are the cold readers? Do you have a list of those? Because I did not get that. Do you know? Oh, they're in that. Is it on here? Yeah. Oh, stage chorus. Sorry. Thank you. Here we go. Ah.
Oh, that's me. So it's down here.
Oh, got it. Ah, Gemma. All right. Playing the role of Aaron, Frankie Fiddler. Frankie, would you join us? Please. Hello, Frankie. Hey, Frankie. Playing the role of Elijah, Eamon Lynch. Amen. And playing the role of Aliyah, or Alea. Gemma, how do you pronounce it? Aliyah? Eliza. Elijah. No, Eamon is playing Elijah, right? And then there's Phoebe Raphael. Phoebe Raphael, where are you at? Woo! Is that character's name pronounced Alaya? Alea? A-L-A-Y-A?
The same person.
Alea? Awesome. Fantastic. And reading stage directions is the magnificent Karen Lefko. Woo, 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 woo. So Karen's going to read stage directions, and we're about to hear Gemma's magnificent play, Shut In, and then we will have, we can sort of develop our feedback session, how we're going to proceed with it as we continue. All right, without further ado, Karen.
Adjust the mics.
Adjust the mic. Is that good? Oh.
Test.
Would you please adjust your mics? We want to do a check one. Check. Check it out.
Check.
Check.
Hello.
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 Excellent. Nice. Can everybody hear? Sweet.
Shut In. Is that working? Okay. Shut In by Gemma Liles. Characters: Aaron, the main character, a normal boy, popular, age 17. Elijah, the supporting main character, again, a normal boy, kind, age 17. And Alea, a smaller character role, a popular but strange girl, age 17. Setting: at Rise, an empty classroom. Aaron is speaking to himself as he walks into an empty classroom. The door swings closed behind him.
Alea was closer to the door than I was. Why couldn't she have come and grabbed her own papers?
While he's talking, he walks over to a table and picks up a small stack of papers.
You should at least repay me.
He makes his way back over to the door. The door won't open, and he struggles with it for a moment.
But the door isn't locked?
He goes to check the window, and it doesn't budge either.
What the hell is going on? This has to be a joke.
Goes back to try the door again, and it still doesn't open.
I'm going to be even more late than I already was. Class started at 11. That has to have been 15 minutes ago at least.
Looks at his phone.
Has the time not changed? Maybe I've been here for less time than I thought. No, it's definitely been more than a minute. Time just stopping is impossible, right? You know that. This has to be a prank. But what if it isn't? I could die here. No, don't think like that. Aaron, you're gonna be fine. Don't panic. If time really stopped, you wouldn't die. You'd just be stuck. That didn't help. Calm down.
He grabs a chair from the table that had the papers on it and sits down.
How do I get out of here?
He looks around the room looking for ideas and sees a large book on the table.
A book. I could hit the door handle and hope it breaks.
Grabs the book and gets up.
You don't know till you try, I guess.
He walks over to the door and swings. As soon as the book touches the door, he's thrown back onto the floor and the book goes flying. Boy named Elijah opens the door as Aaron falls to the ground. He sits up.
Ow! What the hell?
Hello?
Aaron looks up quickly to see who is speaking. Elijah starts to walk into the classroom and away from the door.
Wait, don't close the
Door closes.
door.
Sorry, let me...
Turns around and attempts to open the door, but it doesn't open.
Is it locked?
No,
He reaches into his pocket to look at his phone and puts it back.
it's 11 o'clock.
Elijah takes his phone out and looks at it.
Good observation.
It's been 11 o'clock for almost 10 minutes.
What?
When I walked in this room, the time seemed to stop. For a few minutes, I thought it was a prank, but it's been a while. I'd assume you were right behind me when I came in here, so when time stopped, you stopped just outside. And when I hit the door with the book, time resumed for a moment, just long enough for you to open it and continue while it was open. But when you closed it,
It stopped again?
yeah.
That's impossible. Time doesn't just stop.
But here we are, stuck for who knows how long.
That sounds like giving up.
I am giving up.
Why? You tried one thing and you're giving up?
Well,
You haven't even been here for very long. You're being a baby.
no, I'm not.
If you weren't, you'd still be trying to get out of here. Get up. Get up.
Elijah holds out his hand for offering to Aaron.
Please help me get us out of this.
Okay.
Aaron takes Elijah's hand and he pulls himself off the ground.
My name's Elijah. I don't think I told you earlier.
Aaron, nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. Let's see if we can get the door open by doing the same thing you did before, yeah?
How? No one's waiting outside to open the door?
I'll do it.
It needs to be split second. How are you planning on grabbing the handle quick enough?
I think I'm fast enough, and if I'm not, I can handle getting my hand hit. It'll heal.
Are you sure? I don't want to hurt you, even if you say you'll be fine.
I will be fine. Go get the book.
If you say so.
Aaron goes and grabs the book off the floor. Elijah is standing ready in front of the door and Aaron lifts the book above his head.
Are you sure?
Aaron, please hit the door before I change my mind.
Aaron swings and Elijah grabs the door handle at the same time. The door opens. They run out of the room. A moment of silence, then they realize they got out. They turn to look at one another. They start jumping up and down, holding hands.
We did it! We did it!
They pull each other into a hug. After a brief moment, they let go and act mature as if the hug didn't happen. They fist bump to compensate. Elijah yelps in pain and holds his own hand in his other.
Elijah, are you all right? Was that from the book? I can take you to the nurse.
Aaron grabs Elijah's hand, tugging him toward the nurse.
I'll be fine. I know where the nurse's office is, and you have a class to get to.
Are you sure? Don't you have class too?
Elijah lifts his hand up a bit to indicate the injury.
I have a valid reason to not be in class. You don't.
All right. Don't get stuck in another classroom, you hear?
I hear you loud and clear.
Elijah turns and starts to walk away.
See you later, though.
For sure. See you later.
They wave and Elijah disappears around the corner. Exit stage left. Alea enters from stage right and taps Aaron on the shoulder.
Ah!
He turns on his heel to look at the girl.
Alea, oh my God.
A look of realization crosses his face. He face palms.
I forgot your papers.
Oh, well, I guess I can live without them.
You sure? That was the whole reason I went in there.
Yep, for sure. Did you have fun at least?
What?
Did you have fun?
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
Are you the reason that happened? What did you do?
Oh, you know, a little this, a little that. Are you ready?
Ready for what?
She walks in front of him and boops him on the nose.
For some more fun.
She skips away, exits stage left.
What?
He runs over to the nearest door and grabs the handle. It doesn't open.
Don't you think we should up the stakes?
Aaron looks up and around for the source of her voice.
This time, the time hasn't stopped. You're just missing. And your little plan to meet up with your blonde friend won't happen. Maybe he'll think you don't actually want to be friends with him. How sad.
He backs away from the door slowly.
No, please, no. Why me?
End.
All right. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, actors. Actors, you can stay up here during the conversation, just so in case folks have questions for you or if that's useful. Thank you so much for your reading. That was wonderful. So let's start out. First of all, Gemma. Gemma. How did it feel to hear it out loud here in this place? You felt good about it? Great. Thank you. I'm having trouble hearing. I don't know why. Did it feel different from when you were in the classroom setting when we were doing it in workshop and to hear it here with different folks that you hadn't met? What was noticeable about it, like the characters or anything that you noticed? Oh, sure. Oh, hang on, yeah. Good idea. Yeah, in fact, I can walk this thing around maybe. Unless sorry, I don't want to trip you. All right, can you hear me? Yeah, I won't go far. I won't knock things over. Gemma, let's give it Gemma a round of applause. Gemma. So hearing it out loud in workshop cold reading experience, right? And then hearing it out loud here, what was something that you noticed or that you appreciated or anything?
I appreciated both of the groups that acted.
Yeah. And was there a difference in terms of like how you were hearing it in the characters' dialogue, anything?
I mean, kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. Because in workshop, as we all know, it's our classmates or the folks who are in the workshop that we're reading it for each other, right? And this is like, it's almost like a whole fresh way to hear it. Is that right? Is this useful to you as a writer and as you're sort of thinking about your play?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right, great. And you can have a seat if you want, because you can also, playwrights and anybody can take notes if it's useful to you later, because you might want to go towards doing more revisions, or you might not, or you might want to move forward with your plays in some way or in some capacity. You will see that you can text 55413 and your message to 22333. And you can, any thoughts and feelings that you want to share, if you don't want to share them out loud, you can share them here, because this is also great because the playwrights will be able to access this later. So who's the protagonist in Gemma's play? Who's the main character? That one. Elijah, right? Elijah? Yep. And what does Elijah want? To get out. To get out, right? So, I'm sorry. Aaron, you're Elijah. Thank you. So sorry. Thank you. Aaron wants to get out of the room. Who's the antagonist? I see people pointing. The character of Alea. What an interesting turn when Alea appears, right? Did folks, was that a surprising moment for people? Give a little, put your hand on your head if that was a little surprising when you realize, ooh, there's it's almost like a sprite or like an imp at work, right? This character of Alea. How did that feel, Phoebe, to read that character and know that this character is so integral to the experience of the main character?
It was really fun. When I got the script, I was really excited.
That's great. So this is Phoebe brings up a really good point. So when we're all prepping for today, we get your scripts and we all like, oh, it's like diving in. We feel really excited. Gemma, we got your script and we're like, oh, it's so fun. And that's what Phoebe's experience was. Did you folks feel that way as well when you got the script? Were you excited about this?
Yeah. I mean, Aaron has a lot of lines in it, and so it was fun to sort of go through it and think about who the character was and what choices he would make, and then what choices to make as an actor in reading the lines.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun because like for Elijah, he kind of just gets thrown straight into the action, and I like kind of having that sort of just showing up like right as stuff is happening. So that's always fun, and it's fun.
Yeah, and that it's interesting. I love the energy in this play. It's almost this like that we have this character who's in a situation, and then the other characters who are sort of like trying to help, and also maybe not trying to help, but to do something that, ooh, that's unexpected, right? I just want to, again, you can also text questions, any responses or any questions you have. Does anybody have any questions for our playwright for just about the experience of writing the play, or just any thoughts about and reactions to Gemma's play? Anyone? Friend.
I wanted to know.
I'm gonna not pull that over and knock somebody out.
I wanted to know where the idea came from.
Great question. Gemma. Please. I know, it's an epidemic of chairs in here. Thank you for standing.
I don't really remember, but I do remember you telling us to sit down and write, so I did.
I love that. Gemma.
That's it.
Yeah. I love this reaction because I also noticed that this is something that the reflection on the artistic experience or the writing experience is something that writers are processing a lot as well. That the creative process, right? It can generate, even if we acknowledge the struggle of it, like facing the blank page or sit your butt in the chair and write, you know what I mean? That can, if you let it, it can lead to ideas, and it can help you to sort of access, oh, all of a sudden there's this character of Aaron, right? When you found the characters, did you feel like, was the character of Aaron, did that character come to you first? And then how did the rest of the process go? Like, how did Elijah come to you, and how did Alea?
I don't remember.
That's okay. You don't have to remember. So do you have any questions for us as an audience, and how in just our experience of hearing it today?
I don't think so.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I'm so grateful to have had you in the workshop and for you doing this work. Does anybody have any other questions or reflections they want to share about Gemma's play before we move forward? Thank you so much, Gemma. Thank you, Eamon. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you, Phoebe. All right. Are you here for the next one? Yeah,
I think so.
Excellent. Great. Let me grab my stuff. Please hold.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so folks, if you have been texting, fear not. Your efforts are not in vain. We're just dealing with technical challenges, getting that moving, so it will happen. Thank you for your patience. What we are going to do now is move on to our next play, and that is, let me make sure, I really should have them all in one place, but I didn't. Confessions at Dawn by Haley Hem. Haley, did I say your name right? Yes, sweet. All right, great. So, Confessions at Dawn, Haley Hem's play. I am ensuring. Okay, great. We've got two characters. Caspian. The character of Caspian will be played by Brian Junkie. Did I pronounce your name right, Brian? Brian, are you here? Brian, are you here? Yes? Oh, okay, great. All right, no worries at all. I'm gonna put my noggin on that for a second, because I might have a copy of the script. I can get one really quickly and we can fill in if there was a conflict. And the character of Caroline will be played by Vivian Jordan. Vivian. Frankie, you were just up here. Thank you so much for coming back down to read stage directions. So much appreciated. So what I'm hearing is that we have a conflict of schedule, that Brian Jonke, who is to play Caspian, he's rehearsing a different play. Actually, I don't know his pronouns, so they're rehearsing a different play. So what we can do is, does anybody feel game to dive into,
It has to be a male.
You want to share with me?
I mean, it doesn't have to be a male, but it's probably, that's what it's written for.
Oh,
A
okay.
boy, yeah.
Okay, great. All right, great. Who has the next birthday? Me. Oh! So you're feeling like gender fluid casting wouldn't necessarily respond to this piece, or?
We can do it either. Well, ask the playwright.
Playwright. They ran to the bathroom. Oh, playwright to the bathroom? Yeah. So much. A little nervous. I love it. It's like we're playing like, oh, where are we going now? What's happening? No worries at all. We just had a scheduling conflict. If you've got one handy, that would be awesome. It is called Confessions at Dawn. Brian Junkie was double booked, I think. Thank you.
What if Frankie reads the
Fred, come on up. You're May 25th. Happy birthday to you. What is your name?
Alara.
Alara. Let's give a thank you to Alara for popping in last second. And look, we got a script coming for you, Alara. Woo! Christina, thank you. And I'm so grateful for everybody's quick response on that. So, oh, great, fantastic. So, yes.
Priscilla's in the next one too.
Say again?
Brian.
Brian's in the next one too? Oh, great. I'll put my noggin on that because I love, first of all, thank you everybody for being game and like at the ready. So fun. So I think I kind of want to like mix it up and we'll choose another person for that. So, Alara, what happened?
I'm directing her play later.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh my gosh, the connections. Vivian is directing Alara's play later, which is really, really fun. I love this day because of the connections that are made and the way. The other thing that we learn about theater during this day is the additional reminder that it's all about the people and the relationships and how you build and make things together, the collaborative effort, right? Alara, what school are you from?
Montpelier High School.
Montpelier High School, thank you. And what's your last name?
Cone, K-O-H-N, like
Great.
an ice cream cone.
Nice. Alara Cone, thank you. Alara Cone and Vivian Jordan and Frankie Fiddler is going to read stage directions. Is the playwright back from the restroom? Because I don't want to start without them. Who is the... If not. Not yet. Not yet, no worries. I just want to give them because it's such a fun experience to have them be here when they read the play. So I can give you, while I'm leading something really quickly, Alara, you can sort of look at the script a little bit and give you a little minute so it's not so, what is happening? So let me ask this question. Show of hands, you put your hands on your head. When you came today, were you looking forward to this morning? If you were looking forward to this morning, put your hand on your head. Oh my God. So through this part, is the playwright... No worries, perfect. I love that we can be fluid. I'm so grateful for everybody's like diving in and being present for anything that rolls in any capacity whatsoever. So when you started, let me see another show of hands. When you went through who was this year the first time doing Vermont Young Playwrights? The whole workshop experience. Ooh, nice mix. Some return, some. Let's give you a round of applause. Yes, very nice. Anybody for whom this was the first time, what were your reflections? Would you recommend this to students? And what would you tell, if you had to say to a student, oh, you should do this, and why would it be? Anybody? Somebody whose first time this is? No? Oh, yes, friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Emma.
Okay, yes. I would. I think, one, it was a really great opportunity to connect with people, and then also to work on writing and to hear feedback and, yeah, to get to know other people who are interested in similar things. Overall, it was just really fun.
Fantastic. Thank you, Emma. Woo! Connection. I love that. That in a nutshell is what I love about this. And it also, it enhances and supports the work you're doing in other humanities work. In any time we have an opportunity to study or dive into something like writing and particularly playwriting, it helps you think and hear words and dialogue in a different way. It helps you understand story, which is so much of a structure of how how everything is built in creative capacities and how useful that is. Is Playwright back yet? Do we know?
No, she's nervous. I'm hoping that she'll be here soon.
I'm so sorry.
She's nervous. I'm hoping she'll be here soon.
Oh, let's for a quick second, because I know that feeling too. Has anybody in this process, did you feel nervous sharing your words out loud with other people? Put your hand on your head. If you didn't, thank you. That's great. Good for you. You're an inspiration, because I frequently, even at my old age, still feel it's nervous making. It's a little, oh my goodness, I'm going to share my work. And so I just really quickly, everybody close your eyes, put your hand on your heart. Let's just send a little silent encouragement to that writer. Yay! Yay! Our playwright is here! Oh, we're so glad you're here and so glad you're sharing your work with us. Haley, thank you. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to go over there and take it away, Frankie.
Characters: Caspian, a stressed nursing student, casual clothes, age 27. Caroline, a widowed nurse, scrubs and a cardigan, also has a southern accent, age 80. Scene: a dock, early morning, 2 to 3 a.m. At rise, Caroline stands by the dock looking out, one hand holding the rails, the other clenching a dog tag hung around her neck. Caspian starts to walk on stage right, slightly tense, humming. Stops at the other side of the rail and sighs.
Am I really cut out for nursing?
Notices Caroline.
Carol? Never thought I would see you here.
Walks closer. Caroline tucks away dog tag.
I could say the same thing.
Pauses, then turns head.
So what brings you here? I've never seen you around this area.
Oh, well, just going on a walk, you know. Just a walk at 2 a.m. Anyway, why are you here? It's not common behavior to hang out at the docks alone early in the morning, especially for a nurse who probably really needs her rest.
Don't you worry about me too much, darling. I've constantly been coming here after my shifts for a while now. It holds a special place in my heart, and it's quite pleasant to bask near the ocean after witnessing blood and bodily fluids flying around everywhere. There's a reason why I never open my mouth when someone asks me what happened at work.
To think I'll be dealing with that eventually.
Oh, it's a lie. I won't lie. But even after the worst of the worst, the thought of putting that help into this world is worth the effort, you know?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to become a nurse in the first place.
It's a solid reason. It's nice to see some passionate young people in this field. It's hard to come by these days. I bet you'll be a great nurse someday.
I'll just have to get through school first, I guess.
You don't have long. Only 2 more years, right?
Yeah. The ocean indeed is pretty tonight. Never knew the moon could light up the sea so brightly.
I'm glad you think the same. They're already so beautiful under the sun, but in the soft light of the moon, it's almost unreal. Was always able to distract me from whatever creeps in my mind.
I can see why this has a special place in your heart. But the moon shines on so many other shorefronts. Why this one?
Well, I have many memories here, ever since I was a little girl, but this dock, it contacts memories of someone I was very close with, to sum it up. It's a boring story about old people.
Well, I wouldn't mind it. We're not leaving anytime soon.
Well, I suppose I could tell you.
Go right ahead.
My time as a nursing student wasn't the best years of my life, but they did lead to them. I left school early to enlist in the Army Nurse Corps. Some soldier came in with barbed wire wounds on his arm, rather silly next to the other injuries I saw. Well, anyway, I patched him up, and I thought I'd never see him again. But the next day there, I saw him again, and he got more cuts on the other arm. Continue to see him almost every other day. So many different wounds and cuts made by one man. He really was so clumsy sometimes. He really was.
Well, who was he?
That soldier was my husband. Once I was discharged, he would come and visit, always hanging around this dock day in and day out. Even proposed to me here. There would be months on end when I didn't see him. I stood there every day hoping he'll come back okay, and he would every single time, until he didn't, leaving me alone with only memories from this dock behind.
Are you okay? I'm so sorry for making you tell it. I didn't know he was dead. I'm so...
No, please don't apologize, dear. You did nothing wrong. He died over 40 years ago, and here I am still having a hard time with it. Silly in a way, isn't it?
That's terrible. I wish I could help you, Carol, but I don't know how. I'm sorry.
No, Caspian, please don't apologize when you did nothing, hon. I've never gotten to talk about this to anyone before. It's nice to finally let some things out.
Well, then you can keep sharing, but only if you want.
Well, once he passed, there I was, alone. No husband, never made any friends, and now have no source of money to support my apartment. I had to take on another job, and with no other experience I can apply to any other job, I had to go to nursing. It brings me back to nursing days in the Army, but with less aggressive military men.
You've been there for a while now. Wow. I can't imagine dealing with all kinds of patients over the years. I mean, I can't even face one.
You'll get used to them after the first couple of years. After working with hundreds of military men for patients, they're nothing compared to them. Besides the children, those I'll never get used to.
Kids are nightmares.
You got that right. But children who would become the spawn of the devil himself while it's shot, I get it. Having a weird, sharp, pointy stick stabbing at you, I would have cried too.
Yeah.
You look a bit stiff. I know this can be a lot. I can stop now if you like.
No, it's not you. I'm just struggling with some personal matters. That's it.
Well, you want to tell me about that? You've already heard my personal struggles. Why not tell me yours? We can treat it like a therapy session between the two of us. No pressure, though.
Well, I guess so.
Okay, dear, I'm all ears then.
It's just mainly about school and pursuing nursing and all.
I've been in that position before. Feels overwhelming, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it's just that I don't feel cut out for this. I know this was my dream and all, and I want to help people, but if I'm like this, how will I?
What are you talking about, Caspian? I know you may feel this way, but it's simply not true. Struggling doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you're learning. You know, from what I've seen, students that struggle the most become the best nurses.
But what if I can't handle nursing school? What if I can't handle what is thrown at me, even if I get out of school?
Asking for help is always an option. I'm here if you need any questions, and I bet your teachers are open to helping you out. Please don't be afraid to ask about anything.
I know that. I guess asking for help feels wrong. Everyone seems to pass through things effortlessly, but me.
It doesn't matter how others do things. How they do things shouldn't correlate to what you do.
It's just hard sometimes. At some points, I don't even know if I should pursue this. I'm too old and too far in to take on anything else.
You call yourself too old? You're still young. So if it comes to it, you can easily pursue something else. But I know you can push through. I'm what you would call too old.
Well, I don't think that's what the industry thinks, but I would suppose so.
How do you explain how I'm still working here?
Well, how are you still working then?
Because I'm pretty damn good at my job. And you know what? I know you'll be pretty damn good at being a nurse, or whatever your heart decides to pursue.
You really think so?
I know so, hon. And listen here. If they don't want you, they don't deserve you. You just gotta keep working until something is worthy enough for you.
I really don't deserve you.
Hey, I think I don't deserve you. And you don't think you deserve me, so how about we both accept we deserve each other's company?
I think I'd like that.
You know, you really are just like him, aren't you? You guys are both so keen on doubting yourself. I just want to constantly tell you every good thing about yourself, just so you won't be able to forget.
I bet he was a great man, Carol.
Just like you, a wonderful great man.
Stage fades to black. Note a couple months go by, and each early morning they both meet up in the same spot, chatting about their past and current lives. Fast forward to a present-day chat talk together. Lights on, Caroline stands at the dock, gripping the railing, looking around for someone. Caspian runs onto stage right, out of breath, towards the railing.
Sorry I was so late. Took a nap after my shift and forgot to look at the time.
So that's where you were. You got this old lady here all shivering waiting for you.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's been a while.
Been a while. I haven't seen you at the hospital for a while, let alone here. It's been ages. I was starting to miss our little meetups.
Me too. Family has been coming over and it's been quite a couple of few weeks. Just glad to rest a little bit and to see you again, of course.
Well, I'm happy to see the feeling is mutual.
So, what's been happening in your life?
It's nothing I never told you before, but I do have something to bring up to you. Nothing big. Just something I think deserves a better place.
Oh, wow, Carol. You know you don't need to get me anything. I think I should have been the one giving you something, really, but thank you so much. What is it?
You've already heard all my stories about my husband, plus my own self-woes relating to his passing, and you've been told just how much you're like him, by the way. You talk, and you've been such an important friend, so I think you deserve this.
Carol, you can't mean...
After thinking about it for a while, I need to let go now, Caspian, and I want to at least pass down his story to a very strong individual before I do that.
Caroline takes Caspian's hand.
But that's too important to give to me. You have to keep it.
I'm going to be honest with you, Caspian. I don't have many years left. I want to enjoy myself in those few years, and the fact that I can't get over him even now, I don't think I could ever if I keep dwelling further. So please, Caspian, please take it.
Caroline opens his hands and puts the dog tag in.
I think it's great you can finally start to move on, but I can't just take a dog tag from a man I never knew.
You may have never met him, but trust me, he would have wanted this. He would have wanted me to move on from his death, but still have his soul remember when I'm with him. Please, just take this.
I'll remember you guys. I promise I'll remember.
Oh, please, don't cry. I'm not dead yet, am I? Thank you for taking it.
Please don't leave so soon. I just want you to see me graduate. I wouldn't have ever done it without you.
Don't you worry, hon. I'll be there. There's no doubt about it.
All right. Thank you so much, Vivian, and thank you, Alara. Let's give them another round of applause. And thank you, Alara, for stepping in so quickly and such a beautiful connection. That's the other piece that I love about theater, that we have, anytime you're listening to or experiencing a play, you're with a lot of people that you don't really recognize, which is you're with a writer and their words. You're with actors and their connection. You're with an audience. It's really it's the most human of art forms, and it's really, really lovely. So that was lovely, and thank you so much, Frankie. Playwright, hey, I feel your pain. Let's celebrate Haley. Thank you, Haley. I feel that. You could just do a show of how did it feel to hear it out loud in this capacity, sharing it with other people. It felt fine. Terrifying. Felt fine, terrifying. And now that that's finished, how do you feel?
Even more terrified.
Do you really? I love that. Thank you. It's so important to recognize your experience. So with a little round of applause, can we please thank Haley for living through that terrifying experience? And we can start with some text here. Love the old Southern lady. Good script. So this is a celebration of your work, and we're so grateful, Haley. Slade. Thank you. Thanks so much for rocking the tech. That's excellent that our text is working now. So anybody want to share out loud here? What were some of the things that you appreciated about Haley's play? Your script was wonderful. The acting was incredible. Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigos? Who put Brits and Southerners together? I want to thank them. Where did the idea for the Southern accent come from? Let's pause. So we will definitely check in. I liked how deep it was. We deserve each other. Nice line. Oh, this is lovely. I just want to pause really quickly. Some of those things that stick with us, and it's helpful to reflect on. The actors did such a good job. It felt so real and genuine. Alara for life. Beautifully written. I loved it. The characters were developed nicely, very nicely. Sad. Very cute. So how about a real quick question for Vivian. Vivian, what inspired you to bring this character to life when you got the script? Give a little reflection on that.
Yes, I'm glad you asked, because when I first got the script, I just skimmed it. I didn't even read it word for word. I said, yes, I'm so glad I got this. And I couldn't wait to do it. So thank you so much, Haley, for writing this beautiful.
Really wonderful. I know that we're missing something. They're going pretty quickly. Thank you, Vivian. Wonderful reflection. Beautiful story about grief and the struggle of growing up. Positively, poetically angelic. Lovely. Confessions at Dawn. What is the previous relationship of the two? Ooh, that's a good question for our playwright. And playwright, I want to ensure that we're responding to your energies and what you're feeling open to do. Did the characters have a relationship prior to this, or did they meet when they're walking along?
But it's not going to reach
Yeah, I'm trying, sorry.
Yeah, not a previous relationship as much as just like they kind of just passed by one another.
Right, there's no established previous relationship. Got it. They know each other by names. Acquaintances, let's say. And this opportunity, I love this. And the title, here's a lovely thing. The title of the play, Confessions at Dawn, it's beautiful because it's an experience that this is a moment in time. This is a really special and important moment in time in these two characters' lives, right? Alara, how did it feel for you coming at the script to just right now extemporaneously, just coming at it?
Well, I really liked the arc about like growing up and letting things go. I feel like everyone can relate to that, like especially since graduation is coming up at the high school, and just like it felt like such like real people writing this, real people reading it. It was really nice.
It's absolutely, and put your hands on your heads. Did you relate to, even if it wasn't the direct experience of these characters, nurse to be and a longtime nurse? Did that experience of a shift and growing up, and that did that resonate with anyone? Hands on your heads if it did. Yeah, it's a really important. This is why we can also identify with different characters, even if their circumstances are different. There are themes and plots that really pique our experience of being human. Y'all should take. My response, I really enjoyed the character. Okay, the character relationship growth. I loved that they were so close. Absolutely popped off at the actors' swag. There's some real positive response to your play, Haley, and I hope you feel that, and I hope you carry that through and keep writing, because we're all here for it, for sure. Does anybody have any questions or additional reflections before we proceed? Yes. Friend, are you able to approach the mic, or I can repeat your question if you're not able to?
Someone asked if the husband was the dog, and a dog tag is something that you get in the military.
Okay, yes. So the husband who had passed had been in the military, and a dog tag is something that a person in the military has as identification and as part of their experience of being in the military. Thank you for calling that to the fore. All right, let's give one more huge round of applause for Haley. Haley. All right, thank you so much. How's everybody feeling? We're 2 in, we've got 2 more to go. Why don't we have a quick, everybody just in capacity, why don't we just stand up? We're just gonna do a quick little 7th inning stretch. Yeah, you got this. Just move. Yes. Feels good. You gotta move it around. All right, great. All right, here we
Yeah, go ahead. That'll be all set for you.
All right. Okay, you can have a seat, my dears. Thank you so much, and thank you, Alara. It was so great, wonderful. And yeah, thank you. I just want to make sure that we recognize you later. I appreciate it. All right, great. All right, our next play is titled Beyond. By Koya, did I say your name correctly? Excellent. Koya Mosher from Montpelier High School. Magnificent. And so, if we could have to come down to the stage, please. The character of Delia will be played by Kendra Cully. Kendra, hello. Thank you. Welcome. Corey, the character of Corey, will be, we'll get to that because it's going to be Brian Jonke, who is double booked, and I will get to that in 1 second. The character of Fred, Eamon Lynch. Eamon, come on down. The character of Alice, Phoebe Raphael, come on down. All right, great. So we've got a character that needs some playing here. I've got a script. The character of Corey. Anybody game to read? Cold reading? Anybody want to read? I see a hand. I see. What?
I'm happy to.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, let's choose one of the folks who participated in the workshops. Sorry. Yes, hello. Yeah, sure, come on down. Yay! Thank you. Thank you for being so game. Here is the script. What is your name? Kaz Jewett? Yes. Let's give a thank you to Kaz Jewett for stepping in real quick. So grateful. The play is Beyond by Koya Mosher, and you will be playing Corey, correct? Great. The character of Corey. Is that good? All right, great. And wait, who's reading stage direction? Vivian Jordan on stage directions. Thank you, Vivian. All right, great. You have everything you need? Deep breath. Here's what's lovely when an actor is able to participate in, and this is truly a cold read for Kaz, and thank you so much for being game to do it. This is why this is a little pitch for, I know as participants in the workshop, there was likely a moment where you said, oh, the format. Oh my God, this format, right? Anybody? Hands on your heads if you were like, oh God, putting it in the format. Oh, all right, not too much pushback. Anyway, so the reason why formatting exists in plays in particular is because when your script lands in somebody's hands, a director, an actor, stage set designer, stage manager, it's so helpful to be able to see, ooh, okay, that's the character I'm playing. Here's what my line is, right? It's the realization of, like, as writers, you hand your work off to someone else, and what they have is your words and how they're written out. And it's so helpful to have it in a particular format, so we're able to recognize and read it well and give your words their best life. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking, and thank you, Kaz. Thank you all. Take it away, Vivian.
Okay, am I on? No. Am I? Yeah, thank you. All right, Beyond by Koya Mosher. Characters: Delia, director of the new company. Corey, deceased beloved member of the company. Fred and Alice, characters in Park Bench. Setting: Corey's funeral. Audience acts as funeral attendees. That's you. At Rise, Corey enters confused. Delia fumbles with some papers at a podium. Corey walks over to Delia.
What's going on?
Delia continues as if he is not there.
Delia, are you mad at me or something? I'm sorry.
Suddenly, Delia snaps her focus to Corey as if possessed.
You have to figure it out. What?
Why?
No, seriously, what?
No. Why?
Delia turns her attention back to the podium and resumes what she was doing as if Corey had never been there.
All right. Thank you for that introduction earlier, Pastor. Hello, everyone. I am Delia Phillips, director of the new company. As many of you know, Corey was a beloved member of our acting company.
Oh. He steps back away from Delia in realization, then finds an empty chair in the audience.
2 years ago, he auditioned for us, and we just knew not only was Corey a talented actor, but he was a moderately talented writer. I say moderately because he never took it seriously, but he would show up every day to rehearsal with little scenes and bits that he would perform to brighten our day, usually with some life lesson for us to learn. The first scene that Corey wrote for the new company to be performed in our showcase was called Park Bench. And because we believe there isn't a better way to honor Corey's memory than through the joy he brought to others, 2 actors in our company have asked to perform Park Bench. Fun fact, Corey originated the role of Fred. Anyway, enough of me. Everyone, Park Bench.
Delia finds her seat next to Corey. He looks at her and takes her hand, but she continues to not acknowledge his presence. Lights up on Alice on a bench reading a book. Fred enters and sprints up to Alice.
Hi. Sorry, you don't know me, but for 2 minutes, can you be madly in love with me?
He nervously nods in the direction of the other benches, noting someone clearly watching them.
What?
Please, $20?
What took you so long, honey?
Fred sits on the bench next to Alice.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. I went to get your latte at that shop you like, but they were out of espresso.
What?
Yes, that is the thing that happens at coffee shops.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that happening lately. It's an epidemic. How will we go on?
Fred looks around, his eyes following someone leaving in the distance. He drops the act.
They're gone. Thank you, really.
He hands her $20 and turns to leave.
Whoa. There, buddy. I may be a stranger, but I want an explanation. When I tell the story later, I want to get all the details right.
I had a job interview earlier today, and they said they were looking for family employees, so I said I was happily married.
Oh?
Yeah. Anyway, that was the hiring manager.
Oh. So, who am I married to?
Fred.
Alice.
They shake hands.
Oh, nice. Are you off in Wonderland?
Alice stares at Fred confused. He then gestures to the book she's reading.
Oh, no.
That would almost be too perfect. What are you reading?
Just a book.
Oh, sorry. I'll let you get back to that.
No, sorry. I didn't mean. I'm reading a Colleen Hoover book. There are these really sappy romance novels. Honestly, I was just embarrassed.
It's literally impossible to do anything embarrassing after what you just witnessed. I don't really read as often as I should, but I am a fan of cheesy movies, so there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Thanks. So, how are you spending the rest of your day?
Another job interview, actually, in about 15 minutes. So just figured I'd collect myself before walking over.
Nice.
I've been interviewing for jobs for a while now, unsuccessfully, as you might have inferred from, well, yeah. And I guess sitting in the park in the middle of a day doesn't help my image. Not that I'm saying you seem unemployed.
I didn't think you were.
Oh, good.
Lights up on Corey from his seat.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Can we just stop for a second? Whoa.
Corey stands and walks on stage and crosses over to Fred and Alice. He looks out to the audience.
They really didn't have to do all of this. I didn't deserve it.
He's looking back at Fred and Alice.
I should let them finish. Go?
Nothing happens.
No, I want to see how it ends.
As if they are a TV show controlled by invisible remote.
Play. Go. Start. Please?
He looks over at Delia, speaking to her and the audience.
I didn't mean to, really. Like, I know obviously I meant to. I just didn't think about it. Like how sometimes you're at a red light and you think, hey, nothing stops me from just going. But you don't actually go. You just could. Except I didn't stop it just knowing. I ran it because I could and because I don't know why.
He sits on the bench between Fred and Alice. He looks at them.
Why? Figure it out. I'll just finish it then. Alice looks at Fred with kind eyes.
Corey matches Alice's body language and turns to Fred.
Fred, I've known you, 5 minutes? And can already tell you've got issues. Why would anyone believe you if you don't believe in yourself?
Taking Fred's hand.
They aren't going to think you're worth hiring. If you don't think you're worth it, you are worth it.
You are worth it.
I think it may be too late.
Yeah, it is.
It's never too late to know that. Trust me.
Corey takes Fred's hand and places it in Alice's and awkwardly slips out from between them, returning the scene to its correct state. He watches the rest of the scene from upstage.
You're pretty wise for a fan of romance novels.
I know.
Looking at her phone.
You gotta go. You have an interview to nail.
Yeah, I do. It was lovely talking to you, Alice. Maybe I'll see you in the park again sometime.
We'll always have our marriage. Good luck.
Fred exits. Alice returns to her book. Corey crosses up and sits where Fred was.
I know you can't hear me, but thank you.
He hugs her for a moment. She continues to read. Corey exits. Lights go out on the bench and up on the podium. Delia gets up and walks back over to the podium.
Thank you, everyone. There are refreshments in the hall.
Lights out.
Give an extra thank you to all of our actors. Thank you. And an extra thank you to Kaz. He stepped in at the last moment and rocked it. So very grateful. Koya. Yes. Koya, how did it feel? Yeah? Let's give a Koya! Koya! Was there anything that struck you as you're hearing it in this capacity as opposed to in the workshop setting? Was there any difference, or sort of what did you notice, or what were your reflections?
Well, I only heard it once.
Well, I only heard it once in the workshop, and I had like 5 pages, and then I went home at 10 p.m. and finished it, so I hadn't heard it since.
Ooh!
So
this is the first time you're hearing it out loud?
Yeah, which that's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right, excellent. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you, Koya. So I want to make sure, love the name Fred. Colleen Hoover can't write romances? Okay, I don't know. You did good, actually, pretty swagger. Was the main person a ghost? That felt, so the character of Corey witnessing their own gathering for their sort of memorial, and one of Corey, who was a writer in life, one of their plays was read, and Corey gets to witness one of Corey's plays. Love the park bench mini play idea to get your message across. Such a fun storyline. I appreciated that, and let's hear by way of a round of applause. Did you appreciate that the play within a play aspect? I enjoyed that a lot, especially because it was about the character of Corey's experience of their life, but also their work, right? I really enjoyed the two strangers just instantly hitting it off. Super cute character plot. Strong dialogue, right? That dialogue between the two characters in the play within a play. I mean, like, that's let's give it a little snap for that dialogue, right? That really, we got that. It was a really vibrant piece. Slang. I love the play on a play. Clap, clap, clap. The playwright seemed really cool. So this character of Corey, right, who is attending their own memorial service. Come see Puffs tonight. No. Okay, no seats for that. Okay, I thought it was a well-written story and the dialogue was interesting. I am just curious as to how Corey could see their own funeral. It was a good something. It was a good something. I like that capacity. Can you talk more about the idea for the character of Corey to be able to witness their play and what that meant for that character's experience?
Well, I think I just was like, the idea of like death and not knowing what happens after was always really interesting to me. So I was like, okay, well, what if someone could just like know, but they couldn't do anything about it because they're dead?
Yep. And that is a really compelling idea, right? To be part of a play. Great job, Phoebe. Did you see the park bench characters falling in love in the future? I got that vibe a bit. That's a good question.
It was just like, whatever happens, happens. It's life. They could find each other or not.
Ooh, I like that. Leaving the question open for the audience. That's pretty satisfying, because the implication is there because they connected. It is a perfect metaphor for how your work will long outlive you. Very enjoyable. Lovely reflection. Thank you for that. Where did you get the idea?
For what?
For your play, or for the idea of the play within a play, or the character?
Oh, well, we were only allowed to have 2 locations, so I was like, how can I get away with having like 2 and them being really, really different? Yeah. And so I was like, that's how I can do that.
I love that, and I appreciate that. As a writer, I know that sometimes writing exercises or constraints that we place on ourselves can lead to ideas, right? So in the workshop experience and throughout the Vermont Young Playwrights Festival, the whole idea of that constraint of like keeping it in one time in one place, that can often, if you release yourself or surrender to that constraint, it can bubble up some really interesting, clearly, ideas. And did you find that as well?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, and that's off. Any other questions for Koya? No? Oh, yes, I see a question up there.
Have you read Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune? Because I feel like there's very similar, plot.
Can you say the name of it again, please? Under the Whispering Door by C.J. Clunes? T.J. Clunes. Got it. Thank you. T.J. Clunes. Under the Whispering Door. Excellent. Okay, great. That is an excellent recommendation. I love, too, this idea. You know what's really fun for me, because I'm kind of a word nerd at heart, really, underneath it all, is that reading is not only amazing and fun, but it also helps you in so many ways in life. It expands your understanding and your compassion and love and all of that, but it also helps you become a better writer. And sharing recommendations is how you create community and how you continue to grow as a writer and as a participant in any creative aspect. So thank you for that recommendation. Any other questions, thoughts, or reflections for Koya before we celebrate Koya's work? Woo, woo, woo! so much. And thank you again, actors. Thank you, thank you. All right. We are checking in on our time here. Oh, thank you so much, Anna. All right. Let us see here. This is our final play of this cold reading session. Oh my goodness, so exciting. And the play is If I Were You by Emma Doucette. Emma, where are you? Hi, Emma. Let's give Emma a round of applause. Thank you, Emma. Magnificent. So, the characters, the role of current Mia will be read by Phoebe Raphael. Hello, Phoebe, come on down. The character of future Mia will be read by Karen Lefko. Karen Lefko, come on down. And the character of Rachel will be read by Kendra Cully. Kendra Cully. Wonderful. Thank you. And Eamon Lynch, already at the ready to be our stage directions. And so from Mount Abe High School, Emma Doucette's If I Were You. Take it away.
If I Were You by Emma Doucette. Characters. Current Mia, public school student trying to fit in. Future Mia, dressed in a sweatshirt with a logo for her favorite band and leggings. Rachel, archetype of a popular girl. Setting, clothing store. At Rise, Rachel and current Mia enter. They walk down racks of clothes together. Rachel pulls out a short skirt and holds it up to current Mia's waist.
This will look so good on you. I'd die to be as skinny as you.
Current Mia looks doubtful for a moment, but then grins and grabs it.
Oh my God, good call. I wish I had your curves though.
Well, most people do.
Rachel looks off stage and gasps, blushing.
Look, it's Josh Anderson. You don't mind if I go say hi, do you?
Go get your guy.
Rachel takes out a small mirror and fixes her lipstick and fluffs her hair. She prances off, leaving current Mia alone. Current Mia walks to a new rack and flips through dresses, pausing as one catches her eye. She looks around self-consciously as if to make sure no one is looking before she holds it up against her body. Future Mia appears behind her.
I've always loved that dress.
Current Mia startles, spinning around.
Who are you?
Doesn't matter. You should buy that.
No thanks.
You might regret it.
Is that a threat?
No, of course not. I just mean, I know you.
You're a freaking stranger. Get away from me.
Would a stranger know about Wally, the teddy bear who you still sleep with every night?
A teddy bear? Really? Do I look like I still need stuffed animals?
No, but I remember. You hide them under your bed when you host parties.
How do you know that?
I know you.
Enough with this cryptic shit. Who are you and what do you want?
I want to help you, but you have to listen to me.
I don't know you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go back to shopping.
Current Mia moves to a different aisle. She looks through more trendy clothes and takes half-hearted selfies. Again, she startles when future Mia appears in front of her.
Again? Leave me alone or I'll call the police.
Don't do that. I promise I'm not here to hurt you.
I'm not joking, I will.
Future Mia steps through current Mia.
Oh my God.
Have you figured out who I am yet?
Current Mia shakes her head nervously.
I'll give you 3 hints. Number 1, I own that dress and I still wear it. Number 2, I used to be scared of who I was. And 3, I sleep with Wally to this day.
You're me?
Future Mia nods.
No, this is not happening. That's not possible.
It is.
You really expect me to believe that you're me from the future and I grow up into that?
I'm not really concerned as to whether you believe it or not, but I don't have much time. Please just go home and think long and hard about who you really are and who you want to be, not what everyone else wants.
But I don't want to be like you.
I know you don't, right now. That's okay. Just think about it.
What's it like in your time? Are you happy?
I am. I've published 2 fantasy books, and I have a perfect girlfriend, and, well, I shouldn't say anymore, but it gets better.
Future Mia turns to go.
Published? You're an author?
Future Mia simply smiles and turns around as if to leave.
Wait, What do I do? I think I want that, but I'm not ready.
You don't have to be. You've got time, but if I were you, I would start by buying that dress.
Future Mia vanishes, leaving current Mia bewildered. A beat. She puts back the crop top and goes to the rack with the dress. She shoves it in her bag, still not ready to reveal the rest of the world what she likes. Rachel re-enters.
Sorry, we got carried away, if you know what I mean.
Don't worry about it.
So, what did you get?
Rachel pulls out the dress.
What the hell is that thing? It looks like a rainbow puked on a rag.
It's for my mom. For her birthday.
How could you even let her wear that? It's so ugly.
I don't think it's so bad.
Do you have eyes? Of course it is. I wouldn't wish that disaster on my worst enemy.
Whatever.
It's not whatever. Put it back in the bag before Josh sees it.
Actually, I lied before. The dress is for me.
What do you mean it's for you?
I picked out the dress for myself. I think it's beautiful. I'm tired of you telling me what to wear and how to act. I'm not you. I don't give a shit about your nail polish or your Gucci bag or your crush on Josh.
Oh my God, you're being serious? What is wrong with you?
Nothing. That's the thing, there is nothing wrong with me.
I took care of you when you were this pitiful freshman lost in the halls. I made you pretty and popular. I gave you everything you could want.
You're not listening to me. I don't want to be pretty or popular. I don't like boys or designer clothes or straightening my hair. I don't like any of that, and that's okay.
Fine. But don't come crawling back to me when you realize you're all alone.
Rachel starts to leave, but calls over her shoulder.
By the way, don't sit at my table on Monday.
Current Mia watches her go with a slight smile. Future Mia reappears one last time.
You're better off without her.
You're back. I have so many questions. Oh. Thank you, Mia.
End of play.
And we have a thank you so much to the actors, and thank you. Tell me our playwrights, is it Emma? Emma! Thank you, Emma! Emma! Come on down. We could feel we were all right there with you in your words. So how did that feel to hear it out loud in this capacity, in this space?
I mean, it's always a little bit awkward to hear my work, especially with so many people. But I think it's also really interesting to see it acted out and to see the interpretations and everything.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Emma. This is wonderful. So hearing this out loud, what put your hands on your heads if you identify or you feel when you. I felt a little cheer inside of me when Phoebe's character said, "Get out." Actually, I was lying before, and tells the truth to that character. Did anyone feel, even if it's not the direct experience, that realization that you feel you're identifying with a character and you're happy for them to be able to do that? Anyone? Yes? Yeah, hands on heads. All right, great. I love the stage director's side questions. Are they an ally? Okay. Are you an ally?
Yeah.
All right, amen. Beautiful. Love the characterization and the message shared. If I were you, I thought this idea was amazing. You should always be yourself. 10 out of 10. Okay, great, excellent. We got that. I love how Mia was able to come to terms with her sexuality. It's a struggle that speaks to so many. I'm glad to see it represented. Woohoo! Yes, let's hear a thank you. Let's hear a yes. Whoa. That was great. The playwright did so well, and the actors made it feel real as well. Everything was amazing. I absolutely loved the play. I feel like it's a topic that really connects to high schools. So awesome job. Ally ribs. Phoebe, you are the best forever. Magnificent. So do we have any questions for the playwright? Any? I love allies, or allies, but I think they mean allies. I loved the characters. I love allies and allies. Any questions for Emma, our playwright? Anyone have a question out here in real life? Anyone? Let's see. If you touched your future self, would you explode? Oh, it's a good question. Alara?
Yeah.
Alara.
I have a question. I can talk really loud.
Great.
Does the dress represent something more, like symbolism-wise, or is it just a dress and she's breaking out and getting that and going to get what her friend wants?
I guess I would say the dress is kind of just representative of her whole self and who she actually is. And so it's just like symbolism. It's an object that kind of makes it easier to kind of envision that, I guess.
Great, excellent. And I love that because that's another, we have as writers, different ways that we can help stories unfold, right? And the use of the symbols and props in plays is really, really, it's a fun way to explore how to tease out and understand themes and to help our characters live their full lives, right? Any other questions, reflections, etc.? Yes.
Yeah, just going off of that, I do love how I found in some of today's plays how the dress, the dog tag, there's certain objects that hold so much meaning. And I find too, sometimes if you're lost with where to start with writing, you could even just focus on an object and a whole story can unfold from that one image. So I don't know your guys' process or anything, but that's just a fun theme that I found in some of these plays today.
That's have you ever worked like that? Because I know in our workshops when I teach, sometimes we'll do an object-based writing exercise that was sort of to show writers and students that there are different ways that you can start to generate ideas or explore ideas that you already have. Did you ever work with an exercise like that, or to use objects to spur your writing?
So not exactly for this particular play, but I find that there are so many just interesting little symbols and objects out there, and I don't know, I find it really interesting, all of the little unique random things that you see at thrift stores, for example. There's a story behind all of those, and that is something that I've thought about.
Love that. Excellent. I saw another hand. Yes, friend.
At the end, does the future self disappear? Because I was kind of confused.
Sorry, the future self. Can you say that again, please?
Did she disappear?
Oh, did the future self disappear? And maybe can you speak a little bit more about that, the character of the future self?
Yeah, I guess I didn't make that clear. Yeah, so she just vanished again. Kind of, I think, to leave the character of current Mia. She gave her some guidance, but I think the younger version really has to also make the path for herself. So I think that's kind of what that was.
I appreciated that very much about that character, that future Mia had the wisdom to know that current Mia, it's current Mia's life, and there's trust there that you'll be able to get there. That was lovely. Did I see any other hands? Any other questions, reflections, etc. for Emma? Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you. All right, excellent. Let's do a little quick. Oh my goodness, this is magnificent. And thank you again, actors and stage directions. We have about 5 minutes before our next session begins. Before we continue and take a teeny little break, does anybody have questions, thoughts, concerns, reflections, etc. that they want to share now? Wonderful, great. You can always, don't hesitate to flag me down or anyone else that you see who if you have questions that come up. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for being here. This is an incredibly rich, beautiful, fun, fruitful day. So let's take a 5-minute, you can use the restroom, stretch your body, and we'll be gathering back in here before we go towards our next pieces. So thank you so much. Woo! If you are here, it means you are ready for some amazing plays. Thought you might be. My name is Stacey Raphael. I'll be your moderator for today. I am delighted to be here because these plays are so awesome. Here's how cold readings work. If you were not at the earlier session or this is your first time at VYP, cold readings mean that your actors have been cast in advance, and if you're lucky, they've read their scripts, they've highlighted them, but they've never shared the stage together. This is a one-time only event where it happens today and it happens one time only. We will have stage directions read, so there will be no actual physical acting or blocking, just amazing expression and vocal mastery by our professional actors. Let's see, I would like to have a spotlight on our amazing cold reading playwrights. I'm gonna call your name and your school, and for today, for right now, just stand up so that we can give you some applause. Are you ready? We've got Will, and this is also the time where I might get your name wrong. We've got Will Kozicki from Rock Point School. There's Will, yeah. Jupiter McGregor from St. Johnsbury Academy. We've got, you guys, they make it so small. Delilah Daniels from Spalding High School. We've got Allie Cunningham from BFA St. Albans. And we've got Asa Baker-Rouse from ART. For our first play, we are reading Rock Point School, Will Kozecki's play, The Shattering of the Steeple. I'd like to invite down Amy Brennan playing Annika, Penelope McNulty playing Tyr, and Brian Janke playing Witch Lord. Seth Jarvis will be reading stage directions from where I am seated, or where I'm standing. Let's give our actors a round of applause. Did I do it right? Yep. All right, Seth, take it away.
All righty. The Shattering of the Steeple by Will Kozicki. Characters. Annika Ellery, a stoic yet passionate woman in her mid-40s. She's dressed in all black and a black trench coat. Tienne Ellery, Annika's niece and in her early 20s. She is both nervous and determined, and she knows she is born of a dark bloodline sired by the crawling chaos. She is dressed in similar garb to her aunt, and her hands are smudged with a black substance like void. The Witch Lord, an eloquent and intimidating man with a deep devotion to his God and his family. He is dressed in a suit and long coat with a black mask that covers all features but his lifeless eyes. Setting, a large abandoned church, specifically a rotting nave with rows of pews moved aside and a pulpit resting before a missing altar. At rise, the Witch Lord stands at the top of the nave, just before the pulpit, far upstage. Moonlight shines down on him and a great wind is heard, but not seen. He stares at the sky and begins to speak, one hand raised and the other holding an old tome.
Tonight, I intend to make up for my past mistakes. I intend to reunite with that which was burned to ash on the shores of Earth's beaches, that which I lost, who died in my arms, return to a faraway place only hands dirtied by blood and sorcery may reach.
Annika and Tienne enter from stage right.
This is the end of the line, Witch Lord. In the name of everything human, we order you to stop.
I haven't even started yet, actually.
Well then, we shall keep you from starting. Surely you understand what you're doing. To summon something so ancient and powerful to earth, to awaken dead gods slumbering beneath the sea, to allow the fishy ancestors of man to walk upon the shores, you must know it's wrong.
And what are these dead gods doing that's so horrible? They are no longer the bringers of dreams and nightmares, and they are no longer a scourge upon the land. They have recollected and moved on.
These things kill thousands when invoked for mere moments. If they walked the earth, would they not kill millions?
The Witch Lord shrugs. Tien looks back and forth between them. There is a moment of silence.
Well?
I wouldn't know. I understand my place in the situation, if they do, but my intention tonight is to return something wondrous to this world. Any other awakenings are mere consequences to the means with which I achieve my goal.
And what is your goal? Madness? Power? Destruction? What purpose do you intend to achieve through the power of the other gods?
You may not quite understand yet, but know that I intend to bring peace to myself and through myself to the world. If I am allowed this one rite, this one summoning, this one sacrifice, I will never bother mankind or the university again, I swear upon it.
And how should we know to trust you? I have experience with sorcerers like you, and they all lie. They will beg and barter with human tones invoked from practice only, and then they will take everything from you.
You must have met very disappointing sorcerers then. A true practicing of any magic should be followed with the ability to invoke promises and deals. Is that not what made the myths of devils walk among men?
The Witch Lord crosses his arms with a sense of disappointment exuding from his posture. Taking this moment, Tien draws Annika's attention to her.
I believe in peace. If a deal is to be made to ensure no greater harm, I believe we should take it, Aunt Anne. If he really is willing to swear on his God, it's an unbreakable oath. He'll lose everything if he broke it.
I am your general, Tien, and you forget exactly who his God is.
I can't forget. If I was born of the blood that empowers him, and I am trustworthy and capable, what of him implies that he would lie? We don't know him, and we have only seen the small paws and factions that he loosely conversed with. On what grounds do we deserve to persecute him if he could be similar in character to myself?
Annika frowns, a distasteful memory in her mouth and behind her eyes. The Witch Lord is looking the other direction, tapping a watch that isn't on his hand and looking up at the sky. The moonlight that surrounds them is slowly turning green.
You were born and raised with this blood and this power. Humans who are turned to it, led to it like lambs, don't have the strength to uphold their deals or promises. Your human father couldn't withstand it and ultimately became a walking, talking corpse. This man would be the same.
The Witch Lord steps down from the altar into the nave, grabbing his black book on the way.
If that's all you have for me, I'm afraid I remain unconvinced. There can be union without bloodshed. All I ask is that I am left to do as I might, and after this, my promise will ring true, and I will disappear into obscurity and disband my forces. Godspawn, I have extra to ask of you. A drop of blood, just one, to be a guiding light, a beacon in the cosmos for an awakening most raucous and otherworldly. No more than that.
Tien makes to move. Annika puts her hand out in front of Tien, the instinct of many encounters taking the lead.
Why do you block my way? What right do you have to stop me? I'm an adult woman, Anne. I make my own choices. I believe that if peace can prevail here, it can prevail anywhere. We both know he could have killed us in moments, yet he has not.
All I've ever wanted was for the threat to be vanquished. The source of hideous entropy and madness, and all that is evil is hidden amongst us. And you, just like your father, intend to bring forth more? Do you understand what you're doing? You're coerced by blood and a silver tongue.
I am coerced by nothing.
Annika grasps her face in anguish. The Witch Lord approaches carefully, silently.
Perhaps you would be more lenient in knowing my face and my name.
Clutching his book to his chest, the Witch Lord removes the mask on his face. Beneath is a normal man with void black smudges being the only oddity on his features. He kneels to cup Annika's face, leaving the mask on the ground.
I believe I have made a grave mistake in timing. There seems nothing more painful than having your own family and blood before you and being unable to understand them.
Annika raises her head and Tien covers her mouth in shock. The Witch Lord is one of Tien's fathers and Annika's brother Henry. He has been presumed dead for nearly 20 years, burnt to a crisp after attempting to summon the crawling chaos, Nyarlathotep. The Witch Lord then walks to the other side of the stage in thought.
Henry?
I was 21 years old when I first met him. I knew I would meet him, of course. I was told so. And I dreamt it for years, but I never thought it would result in the events that transpired almost 25 years ago. When we spoke in his green room, I never suspected for a moment that I would spend the rest of my human years carefully and concisely shaving away that which made me so. Not out of necessity, but out of love. All lovers wish, at some point, to be eternal together, yet only a select few can truly live it.
The Witch King returns to Tien.
You were a pet project of ours. We didn't have a name for you yet when we died because you weren't yet developed enough to be born. You would be unable to be anything but female, despite my best attempts at introducing genetic variation. The most I could do was gift you with a tint of humanity, a piece of myself delivered via a syringe to a dark mass of cosmic ooze. At the time, we saw it as a precaution. A god can't die if it has kin, directly related, directly available.
The Witch King examines Tien. He holds up one of her black smudged hands. She is silent in shock, staring at him like one stares at a train wreck.
We weren't fathers. The way things went was probably better than we could have hoped. Preferably, if all had gone as planned, he would have lived on as a man with me, and we would watch the world grow old with our daughter. Alas, the flames from Fomalhaut cleansed us away. Our work, our hopes, our dreams dashed beyond what we thought repairable. All due to a lack of understanding and my own lack of consideration. I did not make it clear that there was no danger. And you, Annika, didn't understand the true repercussions of your actions. It was a disaster.
The Witch King lets Tien's hand drop. He returns to his place downstage.
We both died that night. Or at least it had seemed that way. His residual power flowed into my veins. I was invigorated by the remains of the avatar of entropy, my fallen god and lover. And for many years, I used my returned life for revenge. I killed our mother, knowing you held her dearly. And I awoke Cthulhu to beg for his assistance. I was gifted many books. This one the greatest of the tomes, and directed to a location that stood as a monolith hidden in plain sight. The longer I worked on retrieving materials and garnering enough followers to empower me, the more I came to realize the whole revenge thing was an object of stupidity. The last scream of my dying humanity, blissful in ignorance and mortal.
Then why do it all over?
The Witch Lord sighs heavily, exhaling hopes and dreams.
Perhaps one day you both will understand. I am in agony every day without him. I am lacking. When two people become nearly merged, nearly one person as a pair, what happens when one dies?
Then why not rely on those that know you? Why not become independent? What did he have that the rest of life did not offer you?
I've thought about it long and hard. And as much as I would love to rely on you or to rely on my daughter in times of need, but it will never be enough. You do not know me as you think you do. You do not give me energy. You do not bring me joy. Of course, my daughter brings me joy, but I haven't been there for a single moment. She's never met her other father. I fear I'd be far too disappointing.
You would never disappoint me.
The green lighting is at its zenith now. It's now or never, and the Witch Lord gains a sense of urgency.
Neither of you could ever know that.
The Witch Lord leaves the stage, book in hand, urgency in his step. Annika and Tien are left to sit in silence, their own motivations paused by the weight of the Witch Lord's emptiness and loneliness. The end.
Okay, and let's have our actors stand.
up here in case we want to direct any questions to you, but I'm going to take one of these. Hopefully I'm going to take one of these. Hi, Will. Hi. I'm going to bring you over here. You get the microphone of
Oh, goody.
Yeah, there we go. All right. We are going to be having the ability to give your comments and feedback up here on the screen. Will, I'm going to be starting us out. Amazing job. Let's give Will a round of applause. Can I ask you about the title, The Shattering of the Steeple? How did you come up with the title, and how does it impact the play?
I read a lot of Lovecraft, if that wasn't clear from the contents. And he uses, because he's from New England, he uses steeples a lot. And in particular, this involved Nyarlathotep, the Crawling Chaos. And because one of the stories involving an avatar of Nyarlathotep takes place in a steeple, I thought, oh, that makes sense, especially because in this case, he's banished.
Okay, awesome. Oh, sorry, thanks. It was really cinematic. I thought like the language, and it just felt like we were in the end of like some great epic Marvel movie. Can you tell us about how you created kind of the world of the language for this play? I was so glad that Seth was reading the stage directions because it was very poetic.
I do a lot of short story writing, so playwriting. Previously, I had actually been writing this in short story format. I'd been writing the events that took place beforehand that caused the Witch Lord to die, and that, you know, kind of caused... I'll pay attention to a minute.
Go ahead, focus on this.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. But because I thought that maybe I'd be able to transfer that into playwriting, I had to add a little bit of extra descriptive language so that it felt like I was writing.
Yeah, it was, just so I can see, I'm going to take this one too. Sorry. This is really big, you guys. Wow. I thought there's a bunch up here about how well written it was, and it really is one of the most striking things is the way that you use language. It was eloquently written, full of drama and enveloping my senses, full of humanity and magic. Wonderful job. Super well written. I slayed. I said that part. Do you have any questions you want to ask the audience? Is there anything that you were wondering if they understood or got?
Well, I don't expect everybody to read Lovecraft, especially because he's major racist and like an awful person. But I don't know. I just hope that people enjoyed the characters and the. I like to think that maybe it was camp enough for all of you.
Was it camp enough for all of you?
Yeah. I like to put the gays in horror situations.
Oh, well, that's more gay people, please. It's crowd pleaser. Good.
I'm glad you all seem to enjoy.
Do you read high fantasy other than like Lovecraft stuff?
Yeah, I haven't read a lot of high fantasy recently other than Lovecraft because major autism moment. But I did, one of the first things that I ever read was the Inheritance series with Aragon in it. I was obsessed with the movie even though it sucks. And if it counts, sorry, my mouth is super dry. I love the Tron series too, and recently they released a visual novel. So, you know, excellent Disney cash grab, but I'm a big sci-fi fan.
I just noticed, because I think one of the names of the characters, I recognize that from the Stormlight Archive.
What name is that?
Tien.
I haven't heard of it, but it means something along the lines of child of the stars, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. In what language?
I don't remember. I know that it's African.
Okay. Do we want to see if there's any people who want to ask questions in the audience? Because I can run a microphone out to you if anyone wants to. No, everyone likes to give their feedback in text. That's fair. That's fair. I just wanted to give you a choice, multiple modes. Do you want to? Was that a yes? Yeah. Here, please use the microphone.
No, this is for. I was just for Amy. I could see that black trench coat when you, like, just like laid it out. I was like, I'm there with you. So good job.
I have a question about the color green.
Yes.
What do you want to tell us about the color green? That's my question.
Okay, so there's a lot of really deep lore dives in here. The color green is often associated with sci-fi and sort of like, has anybody seen Reanimator? Another Lovecraft story. But it's kind of associated with like sci-fi serums or electricity. And Nyarlathotep's whole thing as a god is sort of pushing humanity to its scientific brink. One of the stories is very much about him helping create atomic bombs. Whoa, sorry, I just realized that it got like way louder and echoier. I can hear my tongue. But I used the color green because it really did feel, green and purple especially feel very weird fiction to me because they're such bright colors and they complement each other very well. So I wanted to use green with a darker palette. And if this were an art piece, I think that the underlying colors for each of the characters would be different shades of purple, except for the Witch Lord, who obviously would be purple and green, because he's a little in between the ethereal and the living right now.
I love having you up here because it's so clear. Like when I saw this on the page, you are committed to this story and the language and the people, and that really comes across as an audience member, right? Like it was really fun to listen to. Do we have any comments from the actors? Anything you guys want to say about playing these parts? I've taken all your microphones. It was great. I thought the Witch Lord really added that camp feel, right?
Yes.
to the max. Brian did a great job.
Yes, that was excellent. I enjoyed all of the voices that were here today. Brian, Amy, and Penny. That's the name of my mom.
And let's not forget Seth. Seth was your stage directions.
Seth, I love the way that you read the stage directions. Sorry, Seth. You both have a name that starts with S.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sid and Seth. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's give Will a round of applause. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Have a seat. Okay. Next up, putting microphones back. Sid, can I ask you a favor? Yeah. Can you put these back? Because I'm worried I'm going to break them.
I got you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Our next play will be Aquaban. Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, so I was actually going to do this because it's the language is based on Middle Eastern languages, so it's kind of hard to pronounce some of the names. So the name and the name of the place and the name of the story is Akiben.
Akiben.
The name of one of the characters is Mukhair.
Mukhair. Mukhair and Cerise. Thank you. Akiben. Did I get it right? Yeah. Akiben Legend. This is by Jupiter McGregor. And I'm calling down Seth Jarvis to read Mukhair. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Okay. And Ramona Beskin is reading Cerise. Stage directions by Frankie Fiddler, right? Frankie? Frankie here? Thank you. I'm really grateful for that.
Akiban Legend by Jupiter McGregor. Characters Mukai Polai, witty Akiban warrior, Cerise Jayaman, fair general, Jace Dest Abrelican, wanderer with Mukai. Akiban, the scene is in Akiban Dune, a minor temple to Aerolf, the goddess of wealth. At rise, an Akiban warrior from the Uyats kingdom, Mukai Polai, is facing off against a fair general, Cerise Jayaman. They are standing in the ruins talking to each other from several feet away. Cerise has his sword drawn.
It doesn't have to be this way, Cerise.
But why shouldn't it be?
Cerise flourishes with his sword and points it at Mukai.
What is human life compared to elven?
Very little, I imagine, is your belief.
Precisely, Ishya. Very little.
Is there not something valuable about the act of living?
Not necessarily, no.
Is that all? No reason from the mighty elf, Cerise?
Human, you will live barely more than half a century if you survive both my armies of the south and the plague which eats your people alive. Your life is too short to be significant.
Is life's value determined like that to you?
Certainly.
Life is precious, is it not?
Not without gain.
Cerise says this and takes a step forward towards Mukai. Mukai steps back, mirroring him.
So, from your point of view, this is life?
Mukai begins the act of circling, not brandishing his weapon, but casually walking in an arch towards his enemy. Cerise does the same the other way, brandishing his weapon towards Mukai.
I suppose, from a certain point of view.
Life, to you, is about earning, taking something, no?
From a certain point of view.
Cerise says with little less patience. Cerise digs his foot into the ground and steps closer, still keeping on a circular path, but trying to close the gap.
Is violence your only solution? Can you not earn from anything else?
Violence is my profession. Success in violence is how I earn.
Of course, Cerise.
Mukai also steps forward, following Cerise's trajectory, now slightly pointing his own sword towards Cerise. Cerise flourishes with his blade again before charging forwards. Mukai deflects his charge.
It really doesn't have to be this way, Cerise.
But it will.
Cerise says as he turns on his heel, lashing out at Mukai again. Mukai catches the attack, holding their blades in lock.
You've lived so long, you've forgotten yourself.
He shoves off Cerise's strike to the side and goes for his own strike to the back of the knee. Cerise is knocked to his knees, where he strikes backwards towards Mukai, who deflects upwards, allowing Cerise to stand again and send a downward strike back into blade lock.
You know nothing of my people.
And you nothing of mine.
Cerise allows his blade to move up the blade lock, and he spins, bringing a strike down on Mukai's knee, causing him to limp. Mukai swears in the Akuban language out of pain.
Ishna Botal!
Cerise immediately follows up with another few strikes, which Mukai desperately fends off. The final strike allows Mukai to riposte, getting a good hit into the side of Cerise. Both characters limp away from each other due to their wounds. Cerise grasps at his side where the blade struck, looking down at the spewing wound as his blood flooded from his side. He speaks with hesitance but confidence.
It seems I have misjudged you, Akaban.
I care not for your appraisal. I will defend my home.
Of course. Oh, that's me. Sorry. What is so valuable about your kingdom to you, Akaban?
It's where I grew up. It is where my mother gave me life and my father fed me.
Touching sentiment.
Cerise pumps his fist against his chest, trying to reinvigorate himself, and then begins to circle again, brandishing his blade towards Mukai again.
Have you no sense, Cerise? You've been sent here to die by opportunistic politicians who make war of my people's suffering.
Mukai raises his blade to meet Cerise and limps along to match his pace.
We're both dead men. It's pointless to fight further.
Do not make humor of my people's decisions, human. Will you still fight to defend your home?
Mukai sighs and looks down, then raises his blade, pointing it level with Cerise and nodding.
I will.
Good.
But what do you fight for, Cerise?
Cerise stares at Mukai for a moment before stumbling forward again, bringing an underhand strike into Mukai's blade, which deflects it to the side and up. Mukai quickly riposts and swings as if to behead Cerise, but stops before finishing the slice, resting the blade on his shoulder.
Why do you fight?
Both warriors are froze in their position, staring at each other.
I fight for my people's betterment.
Then we are not so different, are we?
Cerise stares silently for a few moments before swiftly lowering his blade down from the position it was held in the air, dropping his head below the blade of Mukai and shouldering him backwards, making distance ahead of Mukai. Mukai rolls on his back, also making distance, before beginning the slow process of standing with his incapacitated leg.
Struck a chord, huh?
Shut up! Do not patronize me.
Trust me, my friend, it was not my goal.
Do not call me friend.
And
Mukhar wipes spit away from around his mouth.
what's that?
We are enemies.
Only as far as you want to be.
Mukhar finishes standing and turns to face Cerise, who is holding his bleeding side.
Look at yourself, elf.
Cerise suddenly thrusts forward towards Mukhar, who deflects the blade again to the side, sending Cerise tumbling.
We won't last sundown with these wounds untended.
Cerise stares at Mukhar for a moment, then sits down, his sword on his lap. Mukhar lets out a long-held breath of air and allows himself to crumple to the ground as well.
Your name, Isha?
Mukhar, friend.
Cerise holds back frustration at the word friend, but still sits quietly. Mukhar allows his blade to shatter on the ground.
You're right, you know. We won't last sundown.
I imagine I'll outlast you a few hours.
Both chuckle, followed by a long silence. Cerise lets out a deep sigh before speaking.
I fight, Isha, because I don't know anything else.
Mukhar turns and looks at Cerise, who is facing away now. He opens his mouth as if to speak, but stops himself. He spends a beat rethinking, then speaks.
I'm sorry, Cerise.
Thank you.
Everyone, let's give Jupiter a round of applause. So, Jupiter, what do you want to tell us about this play? How did you come up with it?
So the play takes place in a larger world-building setting, which I'm using for a bigger creative writing project that in my creative writing class at the Academy. So there's a lot of established lore. The Kingdom of Aqaba is used in a short story, which was going to be a part of a short story collection, but it got out of hand, and now it's kind of turning into a novel. So, yeah.
So when you created this, this 10-minute play, it's like excerpted from kind of a bigger novel, a bigger story arc?
It's actually a part of the story, but not like integral to the current. Well, it is integral, but not like a part of the current story. It details an event which occurred 700 years before the current setting, and it's detailing like a legend from a period that's important in the story, particularly being the plague, which messed up the Achaemenid kingdoms, and the elves were trying to invade the Achaemenid kingdoms to, while they were experiencing the plague, to take their territory.
Okay, so we get this tiny peek, and you can buy the novel. When is the novel getting published so that we can learn more?
I hope so eventually, yes.
That would be amazing. Can you specifically wanted to make sure that we got the language right? How did you develop language, and what is your background with Middle Eastern language?
I wanted to make a bunch of cultural analogs in the short story collection initially, and the one that I realized that I have trouble writing particularly was Middle Eastern cultures, because you don't see them a lot. So I went to our library at the school. I picked up a bunch of books which were fantasy, but they were also set in similar settings, and I used them to help me progress a fantasy setting in a similar vein.
Awesome. Do we want to take a look at some of the comments that have come up on the screen? Were you waiting for us so that we could give it our quality attention? The action in this, oh gosh. The action in this was so incredibly written. I feel like I could see every swing and every vigorous
Thank you.
flow of the story. Incredible. This was so cool. You really feel, also P.S., I love your skirt. What? So seems like Greek goddesses fighting. Yeah, it was very epic. I wish I could see it all acted out. I know. When I read this one, I was like, oh man, to see this staged. The whole idea of fight choreography, this is an entire epic battle. You give stage directions to Frankie that are like talking about each swing. Do you have a background in swordsmanship?
I've been in a Boohurt club twice, Boohurt is the sport of medieval fighting. You get in the armor, you go out there with actual like dulled weapons, and you beat the living crap out of each other. It's great. So sort of. I'm not a fencer by any means, but yeah.
But you certainly, as you wrote this, you were absolutely envisioning every kind of.
I acted it out with my friend Wilson while I was writing it.
Okay, all right.
With rulers.
With rulers.
In a stairwell.
Safety first. Do you have any questions you want to ask the audience?
No.
That's okay. That's okay. Just if you were sitting up there being like, I wonder how they experience this. I wish let's see. Are there, okay. I love the voices of both of the characters. They were perfect for the people they were playing. Nice. And the contrast with the raspy voice and the soft, but see, I don't know what soft. Okay.
It wasn't exactly how I envisioned their accents. It worked, but Cerise was supposed to have a deeper voice. He's kind of a prick.
No offense.
And pricks only have deep.
Yeah. And Mukhair, in my head, had a more like northernish Indian accent. So going up towards like Delhi and whatnot. That's kind of the place where the Uyats kingdom was inspired from.
This one likewise had an admiration for the dedication of the writing. The mixture of culture, fantasy is really intriguing and delightful to listen to. Yeah, I would agree with that too. It drew us in with the action. What is it like? Here's a question. What is it like to write this world in novel versus play form? Any challenges going from one medium to the other? That's a great question.
So, I have a lot more to work with in the novel form because I have my like 9-page document explaining everything that I need to know about specific places because I just really like to world build, and that's kind of how I started my creative writing project. Was like I just kind of want to like flesh out a setting and go from there. Challenges. I think it's easier to do it the way that I did it, which was focus on like a in-universe sort of story. Like the duel between Cerise and Mukhair is a legend and a play, which is performed in the city of Rega, which is the capital of Akiba. So this kind of thing is meant to be taken from the perspective of somebody in the world.
Okay. And you obviously were able to just focus on one relationship and one conflict, but there's a lot of change. I don't remember very many plays where both of my characters end up dead, right?
Yeah, they're dead.
The assumption is they're both dead at the end. That might be a VYP first for me, actually. Anyone in the audience want to ask a question of Jupiter? That was a great question. Thank you for that. I had my 2 questions. I loved the language about spewing. It was very clear who was more mortally wounded. So again, Frankie played this great, being able to tell us what we can't see in the movie that we all would like to see of your novel. The language was really rich in the stage directions and brought us into the fight, even though they stood like this the whole time. Any other thoughts from the actors?
Fantastic.
It was really well written.
I know it wasn't intentional, but with the accent, it gave it a almost nature documentary feel to it. Like this was on the History Channel.
Right. Okay, well, let's give Jupiter a round of applause. Next up. Is that your script? Oh, I did it. Okay. Next up from Spalding High School, we have Shrimpster Finds Love by Delilah Daniels. We have John Hughes will be playing the role of Squeaky. We've got Brian Jenke will be playing Tony, and Robert will be played by Seth Jarvis. Ramona Beskin will be playing stage directions. Reading stage directions. I'll try to play it.
Shrimpster Finds Love by Delilah Daniels. Characters: Squeaky Pipson, 23, high-pitched transatlantic accent, protagonist. Tony Bingen, 34, Squeaky's idol, gruff voice. Robert Pipson, Squeaky's father, slow southern drawl, owns a shrimp shop, so act like it. Setting, Maryland, 1923. At Rise, Squeaky and Tony are in a Ford Model T running from a bank robbery.
You got gumption, kid, holding off the teller like that.
Tell her, I hardly even know her.
The two share a laugh.
Now's, we just gotta get out of here before they catch up to us. You know any places we can go to hide?
There's a beat.
I sure do, but you ain't gonna like it none, boss.
Just tell me, Squeaky.
My father's shrimp shop on the edge of Baltimore, but he don't approve of you. We shouldn't. If he catches sight of you with me, he'll drag me out to sea and I'll be swimming with the shrimp before you could say, yes, I would like to purchase a pound of shrimp for my party, please.
We ain't got much choice but to, Squeaky.
I mean, he'll go on and on about...
He imitates his father's southern accent.
What would your mother think? I told you you'd never amount to anything, boy, and now get back in the shrimp mobile. My whole life, all he ever talked about was his goddamn shrimp, not even crab or lobster. It's just...
Squeaky moves his fingers like a mouth in a sock puppety kind of way.
Shrimp, 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 shrimp. Prawn this, krill that.
Squeaky stops.
All day long, in the morning, it's get up and go set out the shrimp traps. When I get home, it's, boy, you better make yourself useful and get out there and catch us some shrimp, or I'll throw you overboard next chance I get.
Squeaky,
He just went on and on and on. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't tell you anything about shrimp, anything you wanted to know. Go on, quiz me. Did you know shrimp only have 7 calories? There are thousands of species. They're very important for the ecosystem. Don't get me started on how bad imitation shrimp is. Like, seriously, just be yourself. Don't pretend to be something you aren't.
I hardly see why this is relevant.
Squeaky leans over and collapses into Tony.
I can't take it anymore. I'm a shrimp snob. Shrimp monster. Look what he's turned me into.
He's a sham, Squeaky. He's not a good father.
No shit, Tony. Just drive. I don't want to keep talking about it.
They exit. At Rise, Squeaky and Tony have made it into his father's shrimp shop and are in the shrimp freezer hiding.
Is there any reason we're in a freezer right now?
You'll never find us in here. We'll just have to cuddle. Huddle. I meant huddle for warmth. We'll leave in a bit, but he should be here soon.
Squeaky leans his head on Tony's shoulder.
What are we doing here, Squeaky? Hiding from some man that shouldn't be in your life? I mean, seriously, your father's an ass, no offense. Squeaky, please tell me that the growing mass in your pants is some sort of prawn?
What can I say? I like my men like I like my shrimp, consoling me about my childhood.
I'm gonna pretend like there is a prawn in your pants. But, look, I'm serious at this torment, this agony. You've been placed in it. It ain't right, Squeaky. Ain't right at all.
No, it's not.
You deserve better than this, Squeaky. I'll get you out of here. It'll be you and me against the world. We'll build a beautiful life somewhere free of shrimp.
Really? You mean it?
Of course I do. It'll just be crab for you and me.
Squeaky lightly punches Tony on the arm in a playful way. They go to kiss, but banging is heard from the door.
Whoever's in there, you've got about 2 seconds to get your behinds out of that freezer, or I swear to Jesus H. Christ, the only thing you'll be doing is regretting ever crossing Robert J. Pipson, Lord of the Shrimp, Shrimpster of the 7 seas. Man, I could go for some shrimp right about now.
Jeez, Dad, I'm coming.
Dad? Now, I can promise you I ain't your daddy no matter what that woman says.
Robert opens the door and steps in.
Son? Squeaky, you finally decided to come home. You've left that awful...
Robert sees Tony sitting against the wall. There's a beat.
You're sitting on the Neocaridinea denticulata, also known as the red cherry shrimp.
Apologies, sir.
Tony stands up after shooting a mean look at Robert.
Damn right. What the hell do you think you're doing with my baby boy, Tony Baloney?
Giving him a life he wants to live, unlike you and your crab obsession.
It's shrimp! I like shrimp! Look around you, Tony. Do you see anything but fresh, 100% locally caught shrimp? No, you don't. Why are you two even here? Is this the universe's idea of a joke? I'd krill the both of you.
we might have robbed a bank today and we needed a place to hide, so Bob's your uncle and we're hiding in the shrimp closet.
Well, actually, Bob's your father.
Robert attempts to hug Squeaky, but Squeaky dodges.
I ain't ready for that kind of commitment.
I'm your father, Squeaky. I'm here for you whether you want me here or not.
Robert tries to hug Squeaky again, but this time Squeaky shoves Robert off of him.
I'm not your baby anymore, Robert. I'm an adult. Not a shrimp for you to put in your tacos. You can't dip me. I refuse to be dipped in cocktail sauce. I can do what I want.
I'm just worried about you. He's no good for you.
Not good for me? Not good for me? Do you want to know what isn't good for me? Waking up at the crack of dawn to catch shrimp. I was bullied for the way I smelled, Dad. The psychological torture. Do you have any idea how much mental strain that puts on a kid? A whole shrimp load, that's how much.
I'll admit, that was not very shrimp-tastic of me. But I've changed. I have changed.
That's what they all say.
Squeaky takes a package of Alaskan pink shrimp and opens it, throwing the shrimps at Robert.
Ow, stop, those are frozen.
Squeaky continues to throw shrimp at Robert.
Ow, oof, ouch, what in tarnation? Ouchie, wah, wah, what the butt?
Squeaky throws another at Robert's head, knocking him out.
Out cold.
Squeaky takes Tony's hand and skips out of the freezer. They live a happy life together in Delaware, where they open a crab shop. I guess they do some kissing, too.
For Delilah. Wow, let's give Delilah a round of applause. I don't know what to say. Speechless. I guess we just start with the shrimp in the room, which is, what's with the fascination with shrimp?
It came up in a brainstorming session we did on the first day. We just wrote a bunch of settings and stuff down on a whiteboard, and then one of them was a shrimp shop, and I ran with it, and I think I got pretty far.
I would agree with that. So it came out of the kind of the brainstorming session with your playwright?
Yep.
That's awesome. Who was your playwright?
Shoshana.
Shoshana, awesome. Okay, sometimes your best ideas are the ones that just strike you like lightning, right?
Like a shrimp shop.
Like a shrimp shop. Let's see. Do you have any questions you want to ask the audience?
Not really.
No? How was it to watch your play read by actors?
It's way funnier.
I thought it was funny when I read it. We were reading lines out loud at my house, certain ones about prawns. Let's see. Can we see some comments? I assume we're going to have some comments.
There are. One. Oh. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. This will take a moment.
I will just say that "So Act Like It" is one of my favorite parts of a character description I've ever seen.
It was really good
Thank you.
for setting the tone. Like, we knew what kind of play we were getting into almost immediately, right? Oh, technical. No, that's okay. Anyone have any questions out in the audience? Yeah, hold on, let me bring you a microphone. Oh. Ready?
Do you have a favorite type of shrimp?
You know, I did do a little research. But I will have to say, I do not like shrimp. I think the funniest part of that is that I do not like seafood in general.
Yes! Finally! Sorry, it's a little bit wet.
Yeah, no, I don't have a favorite. In fact, I hate every single one of them.
All of the seafood?
All of it.
All of it?
All of it.
Okay.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
Yes, we've got another question from the audience.
Hi, I also don't like seafood. Any particular reason for the 20s setting? The 20s setting?
I wanted them to have funny accents.
Fair point.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, because we don't have, right. Oh, okay. We don't have oh, I get to hold it. Okay. Hi. I also don't like seafood. I think you know that already, though. My only question is, so 10 years from now, when you're famous for this, there's going to be like a movie rendition, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't. I might be too famous. I don't know.
You might be too famous. I have some ideas for casting. Ringers. We need it for the live stream.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So my question is, when you write the sequel, what's going to happen in the sequel, and is the mom going to show up? I want to know who this woman is.
I mean, I don't know what there is to say. I mean, she didn't like shrimp. There was a divorce. It was clearly because of the shrimp.
High comedy.
That play was wonderful. It brought me to tears. I can't stop thinking about it. Frankly, Delilah, hello? I just wanted to ask, why do you do what you do every day?
Mostly to laugh with others, but I also like attention, so this is kind of... Thank you, Connor Hosking.
I do also want to note, if you've given comments in the stream, they will be available. Even if we don't get them working today, they will be captured, and you'll be able to see what was on there.
How many times is the word shrimp mentioned?
At least 14 times, I think. I didn't count. I'm guesstimating.
As a person who eats shrimp every single day at work because it's the only readily available food that I can buy on my break, I'm insulted that you don't like seafood.
I'm insulted that you are bringing this up to me after I had already said I don't like shrimp. I think it's a bit rude. Actually, no, you're fine.
Sorry, I'm tightening the microphone. It's gonna fall apart. Holy shrimp. Have a good day.
I'm just going to do a couple more. I see 2 hands, and that's it. I think this is what happens when texts become verbal.
Do the shrimp represent something deeper?
I think they're just shrimp. Those little ocean creatures
Those little
scampering
guys.
around.
Right.
Just real quick, how in the world did you get this to pass? I'm not necessarily sure it's appropriate.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was going to pass because of any of that either, but it did, and now I'm here.
It was a little risque.
Okay, so the discussion page thingy won't let me comment anymore, and I don't know why. So I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed your campy shrimp play, as they're meant to be, because as we all know, shrimp serve.
Yep.
It's sorry, I was about to make a joke about cocktails, but I don't think I can make that here.
On that note. Okay. One last one? No, I have time.
So my comment in the chat thing was, this would make a great movie series. Amazing. I love it. So funny.
It feels like people want more shrimp. Delilah, let's give you a round of applause. You're amazing actors.
Thank you.
Shrimp play will stay with us for a long time. Our whoa, Bird Tony was really good. That's really high praise. Yeah.
Yes. The male part that wasn't cast.
a male part that wasn't cast, so we'll get someone to read it?
I mean, Seth could probably.
Great.
Not in the next one. Not the cast.
Okay, we are going to feature BFA St. Albans play Allie Cunningham's When We Were Young. We've got 3 roles. I'm going to impromptu cast someone. You can have my script. Does that work for you? So we've got Ramona Beskin is playing Phoebe. Amy Brennan is playing Joan. Penelope McNulty is reading stage directions. And the male part, whose name is?
Mark, I think.
Oh yeah, Mark. Mark is going to be played by Seth Jarvis. He puts the cold in cold reading.
Oh, should I? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm asking. Yeah. Hello?
Is this on? Yes. No?
Is now.
Yay. Hello. This is When We Were Young by Allie Cunningham. Characters: Phoebe, Joan, and Mark, probably. The setting, a grocery store in a small town. At Rise. Phoebe stands listlessly in the produce section of her local grocery store, eyeing the list of food her mom made. Phoebe is about to turn away with her cart when she hears her name in a familiar tone.
Phoebe?
Joan? Joan runs over to the produce section from stage left.
Oh my God, this is so funny. I was just thinking about you.
Really? Wow, I haven't seen you in
like a million years.
so long, yeah.
There's silence for a few seconds. Neither of them are really sure what to say. The awkwardness starts to set in.
So,
What made you think...
how have you...
Oh, sorry, you go first.
How have you been?
Well, I've been good. I mean, I've been fine. Just, winter.
Oh, yeah, I remember. You always hated winter. The clouds.
Another beat. They don't really know how to talk to each other anymore after so long, and it feels weird that they're still so in sync.
How about you?
I'm pretty good. It's nice to be so close to family again.
Yeah, I bet. You're home for Christmas, right?
Yep, first time in forever.
That's good. I'm glad you're back. What are you doing here so late, though?
My mom's got me here shopping for everything she forgot at the last minute.
Yeah, same. Typical for our moms.
Actually, speaking of which, would you grab me one of those?
Joan points to the display stocked with lemons being blocked by Phoebe's cart. Phoebe hands a lemon to Joan from across her cart. Joan's fingers graze Phoebe's for barely a second. They both pause, looking between them at the lemon and then back at each other. After a beat, Phoebe clears her throat and puts the lemon in her basket.
Anyways,
I actually saw Spencer a few days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the bar down the street. He's got his bachelor's degree already. I had no idea he was getting so old. It feels like it's only been a couple of months.
Yeah, he's really proud of himself.
He should be.
I can't believe he didn't mention that he saw you.
Well, he never really liked me that much, so.
That's true. None of my siblings liked you. They kept thinking you were stealing me away from them. You were stealing me away from them.
That's right. They were young. They didn't understand. I don't blame them.
Yeah. You look different.
Well, it's been a while.
I mean, good different. Pretty.
Oh, stop it.
I'm serious. You're like mature. I mean, you were pretty back then too, but you really grew into it, I guess.
Oh, thanks. You don't look that different to me.
No?
No, I see a lot of the old you from before.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I can still picture that look you had on your face the time Michael asked you to prom.
Oh my God, Michael. I forgot about him. That guy could never take no for an answer, could he?
None of them could.
They couldn't get away from you either.
No, that was all you. I was invisible.
What? They were obsessed with you. Were you blind or something?
No, I wasn't, and they definitely weren't.
They definitely were.
I don't know. I guess I was too busy being obsessed with you to notice.
I know. I really missed you.
I missed you too.
It's been too long, hasn't it?
It didn't have to be.
You know it did.
Joan.
Yes, I know.
Another beat of awkward silence. Phoebe debates speaking first. It feels like watching a balloon being squeezed too tight.
I haven't told anyone.
Joan is stunned. Phoebe is internally stunned that she said what she said. They both know what Phoebe is talking about, but neither wants to stop dancing around the subject.
Like we promised.
Phoebe, I don't want to...
I know. You never wanted to talk about anything. That's why you left.
That's not why, and you know that.
But I waited for you, right where you left me, for you to come back and be ready to talk. And I don't want you to leave again.
I don't want to leave either, but...
Joan, it's you. I know it's you. I know you remember everything as hard as you're trying to forget it, and I know you're scared. I know better than anyone that you are so scared, but you know me better than anyone, and I'm not going to find that with someone else. I know that. It's you, Joan. I know it because you're the only person I'd wait 8 years for. So please don't go again, Joan.
I can't do it.
Joan, please.
It wouldn't be fair to you.
Do you really think I care about fairness? After all this time?
I'm sorry.
Joan, there is no one else.
I want to. I want to tell you everything I haven't told you. And I want to go everywhere that we talked about when we were younger. I'd even move to California with you, just like we planned, even though I couldn't stand the heat. But I can't. I want to explain everything. I really do, Phoebe.
I don't understand. You wanted this. We both wanted this.
That was before. That was when we were 17 and stupid and didn't think about the consequences. You know what people would say.
I wouldn't have waited 8 years if I cared what people would say.
I don't want to worry about it, though, Phoebe. I don't want to have this thought in the back of my mind that what I'm doing is wrong. I want peace. I want to know that I'm accepted.
Who cares about...
Do you know how badly I wish every day that I hadn't been such a coward and I hadn't left? I wish every day that I'd stayed and that we could have been 17 and stupid for a little longer. I want this, believe me. This is all I want. But it's too late.
Mark jogs toward the girls from stage left. Joan notices Mark coming back and immediately freezes up. She snaps out of their conversation and smiles lovingly at him.
Joan, hey, I found the seasoning. I had to get some employee to reach it for me. It was all the way on the top shelf.
Oh, okay, good.
Who's this?
Phoebe puts the puzzle together. She watches Mark wrap an arm around Joan and drop the seasoning mix in the basket. She notices, after all these minutes, the glimmer of Joan's engagement ring. Phoebe tries to be natural, as if her heart didn't feel like it just dropped through her ribs.
Oh, this is Phoebe. She's an old friend.
Good to see you, Phoebe. Hey, Joan, we should get going. I don't want to give your parents a bad first impression.
Oh, that's right.
It's all right. You can go. I didn't mean to keep you here.
Can I see you again sometime?
Sure.
Okay. Bye, Phoebe.
As Mark sort of impatiently guides her away.
Bye.
Phoebe stands listlessly in the produce section for a long beat as Joan and Mark exit.
Wow. When we were young, So can you tell us a little bit about how you came to write this play?
I don't know. I think I've always really liked writing, and I think I've always really liked super sad stuff. And so I was like, I just wanted to write something that was like kind of a bummer.
Good job. Yeah. That was really great. Those are two things that came really together for me. The word poignant kept coming up for me. Both the way that you used your writing was so natural, like that we believed those characters right off the bat. So when the first, where they're kind of like, there were like two big things. The first reveal was that there was something between them. Everyone was completely invested. You could hear a pin drop in this room. Like, it was so quiet. I think I heard a gasp at that point. Feedback. Stand away from it. Okay. And then, yeah, so the dialogue was really naturalistic. How far away, Sid? How far away do we have to stand? I wrote lemons. Down. I wanted to know about your lemons.
It's the lemons. Okay. You know? It's just the lemons.
It's just lemons.
It's just lemons.
There's no symbolism.
I mean, you never know.
You could pick any produce. Allie, you could pick any produce. You picked lemons. It was just lemons.
It's just lemons.
All right. Well, for me, for whatever reason, the lemons stuck out in my head the whole time. You know, they're talking about the past when they're younger, and then Mark walks in as the future, and then there's the lemons. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. So what I found out is that our comments feature got like it shut down on itself from the last bunch. If there are some comments coming up, we'll be able to have some of them read.
Yeah, I can read them out. Yeah.
Great. Do you want to pop up to this microphone? Sid? So we're gonna go analog.
Just like the old days. Okay. We have one of my absolute favorites today, Sad But Good. The title explains it all. Are they gonna make lemonade or pie?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, probably neither.
Okay.
But like, I mean, you never know. I'd say lemonade.
Oh, another one came in. I am hurt.
Sorry.
That's what I have at the
Okay. Yeah, one of the things I was thinking is you have a career in writing for dramas and sitcoms. So if you wanted to head out to Hollywood and write, it felt so like just some of the best dramas on TV, that those relationships and the way you crafted that. So, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you feel that as actors?
Definitely.
That's actually literally what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic, and when I read it at home, I could not believe that it was written by a young person, and the depth and maturity of the relationship struck me, as well as like the way that the story was crafted, like the reveal, and then they go back to the memory, and then they're forced to deal with the present, which is like has the lemons helping, and then the second reveal. It's like it was incredibly crafted. Well done. Yeah.
It can be really hard. You did a lot of things with dialogue. Like, I don't know how you worked on refining your dialogue, but I noticed a lot of things were interrupted lines or things that didn't get said. How did you approach writing your dialogue?
I wanted it to feel really natural, and like I wanted it to seem like it was two different voices, and like, I don't know, I guess I kind of imagined how I would like have a conversation with someone who I haven't seen in a long time, and I feel like it would have been like awkward, and we would have been like stumbling over words and whatever, and I just kind of tried to like model it around that.
Anyone in the audience want to? Oh,
I have a couple more that
yes,
just came in.
Awesome.
If that's okay. This was so beautifully written. I felt the emotions in such a raw and genuine way. I hope you keep writing. How you were able to show so much pain. I hope you're okay. It was impressive to say in the least. And where did it go? This pulled on all of my heartstrings. I was the one who gasped. I was invested in your thrilling writing. My heart just died. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
They go on more or less along those lines.
Aw,
Of
that's nice. Do you
I'm
have any
hurt.
questions you want to ask the audience? Anything that you want to?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, we're going to take a couple questions from the audience. I'm taking them all. Oh.
I love gay people, and also, it was just really, really good, and it made me cry. I
Sorry.
maybe I'm just sensitive, but like it was just so. Oh, it was just so good.
Thank
I'm a
you.
big fan.
Do you like Taylor Swift?
I love Taylor Swift. Did you catch the right where you left me?
Yes.
I'm so glad.
My lesbian friend is obsessed with Taylor Swift, so obviously it's a
are we all?
requirement.
So there was a Taylor Swift reference?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, good. There was something for everyone in this play. Any other, one more question, and then we're going to move on to our last play of Cold Readings.
Hi, this is not a question, but I thought there was a very beautiful build-up to the reveals. I mean, I write myself, so I think the plot twists, they weren't predictable, but you could see them coming, and that was really well done.
Thank you.
That was the best last comment. Let's give our playwright a round of applause. All right, folks, we are here for the very last of our cold readings, but not least, we've got Magnificent by Asa Baker Rouse. Yeah. This is from ART, and we've got Seth Jarvis playing Gus, Frankie Fiddler playing Alex, and Amy Brennan is reading stage directions.
Okay, Magnificent by Asa Baker Rouse. Our characters are Gus, a depressed circus clown, age 40 to 50. Alex, a teen who is searching for love, not a clown. The setting is a Ferris wheel gondola. At Rise, Alex is standing in line for a gondola, perhaps created by two chairs. Gus is behind Alex.
1, 2, 4. Okay, you've got this.
Gus cuts in front of Alex in line.
Excuse me, you can't cut here?
I'm a park employee. I can do what I want.
I don't think that's how it works. Listen, just cut somewhere else. Just not here. Go behind me if you want. I don't care. Just not here.
Fine.
Moves behind Alex.
Oh, no. Damn it. I've lost her. It's all your fault. If you hadn't cut in line, I would be...
Boarding.
Don't finish my sentences for me, you perv.
No, the ride is boarding.
I swear, if I have to ride this with you instead of the one person that I'm even at this stupid fair for, I'll jump.
Sits down in chair.
That makes two of us.
Oh, haha. Very funny.
Realizing Gus is serious.
No, I am not going on a Ferris wheel with a suicidal clown. Stop the ride. Stop.
They can't hear you. We're in a gondola. It's okay. I'll only be here for half the ride. Or I guess I could jump out early and then you can enjoy the top without me.
No. I am not going to be known as the kid who rode with a clown and let him die. You aren't going to die.
We all are gonna die at some point. And life has nothing more to offer me, so why not now?
Sure, you feel like that now, but don't you want to go out on a high point feeling good about what you've accomplished?
Top of the Ferris wheel is a high point.
No, I mean a high point in life.
I don't have any high points left. Besides, if you're at a high point, why would you want to die? Better do it at a low.
Listen, you're a clown. You have a career that's built over making people laugh. Surely that's something to believe in.
I am a clown.
Starts to cry softly.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Oh God, are you not a clown? Is this just what you look like? Look, I'm sure you're a great person. You have so much to live for, so much potential.
You don't know that. You don't know anything about me.
Tell me your name then.
What?
Then I'll know something about you. I'm Alex.
That's a movie cliche. You'll still know nothing about me. You'll just be able to put a label
Just
on it.
tell me your name.
Fine. Augustafonso.
No, not your clown name, your real name.
Augustafonso. My parents were hippies.
Oh. Is Gus fine?
What do you care? There's nothing you can say that's gonna make me not jump. I've already decided.
But you won't jump, will you? Because deep down you care about your lover.
Jessica left me 3 months ago.
Hangs head in despair.
You care about your family.
They don't care about me. No one does.
You care about your pets.
Oh, Fluffy and Noodles. Gone too soon. You should stop trying. Just enjoy the ride.
Well, I can't enjoy the ride if you won't stop moaning and complaining. Why am I stuck with you? Because you cut in front of me while I was trying to get on this stupid ride because I thought for once that I could actually say something to this girl I liked if I just got on this ride with her. So I counted and I was going to be able to ride with her, and who knows what would have happened, but maybe something would have, but then your sorry ass cut in front of me and you ruined everything.
I am not gonna take criticism from you. You know nothing about what I've been through.
What you've been through, I knew this girl, you stupid, worthless clown, and I mean clown in the meanest way possible.
That's it. I've had enough. Enough of you, enough of life. I'm jumping.
You're not gonna jump.
What?
The doors are locked. Same reason I couldn't get out of here when I found out you were you in the first place.
So I'm trapped in here with you?
Seems like it.
They sit in silence.
Why would they lock the doors?
Because the universe wants us to be together. Probably so people don't fall or jump out.
I guess I should have thought of that.
If it makes you feel any better, there's probably other rides that have worse safety. I heard someone died on the swing ride in 1997. It's a wonder the fair hasn't shut down.
It's a carnival, not a fair. I won't judge you for not knowing. Only clowns can tell the subtle difference. You were right, though.
Right about what?
I don't think I was gonna do it. I don't think I have it in me.
I disagree. Not that you should or anything, but you seem pretty serious.
No. Too much of a coward. I ran away from my life, from Jessica, from the clown community. I bet no one remembers Bazibi the Magnificent. And then I didn't even have the gumption to end it all. You know, my life didn't used to be this way, devoid of any speck of enjoyment. I used to be a vibrant, go-getter type of clown. Someone the world could look up to. Bazibi the Magnificent, they called me. Because I was magnificent. I could take the most crestfallen, downtrodden sack and put a smile on their face and a jiggle in their belly. But then, clown phobia came and swept the nation. People afraid of jolly folks with shoes too big and round apples painted on their cheeks. I saw little children back away in fears. I tried to hand them a balloon. My profession, my love, all tarnished by people who didn't understand what I was doing. The clown community tried to adapt, to tone down their clownness. I refused, and my membership in the clown union was revoked. And then, today, I learned that I would not be continuing with the carnival. I was too old-fashioned, they said. They didn't want my image associated with the carnival.
Jeez, that sucks. I used to be afraid of clowns too, but I grew out of it.
Well, now do you understand?
Yeah, I'm a coward too. That girl, I wasn't ever getting on the ride with her. I was gonna ride alone. Alone on the gondola right behind her while she rode with her date. I don't even know her. I lied about that too. I'm too much of a coward to talk with her or do anything but trail behind her at this fair like some creep.
That is really creepy. You should see a therapist about that.
That's not the point. The point is we're both cowards. And if anyone should see a therapist, it's you.
Hey, you don't know what it's like to be a clown outcast. No reputable balloon store will sell to me. I'm like Ronald in his former years.
You mean Ronald
Don't speak his name. One utterance brings bad luck on a clown for 7 years.
But, I mean, maybe you got on this ride because deep down you didn't want to die. It seems like you really love clowning, and sure, you've had some hardships like Jessica.
Jessica.
He weeps gently.
That doesn't mean you can't find love again. You're a beautiful person, and I'm sure there's someone out there for you. You just need to find them. Find yourself. See a therapist. Get help.
That's cheesy, but sweet. I'm sure there's someone out there for you, kid. It's a big world. Just don't stalk people.
I won't. I have friends here too. I ditched them for, I'll find them.
You'll get there. I'm sure I will too.
Hey, show me a clown trick.
I couldn't.
Come on, just one.
Fine. It's called a gag, though. I won't fault you for calling it a trick, but that's for magicians.
Gus shudders.
Okay, what'll it busy be?
Gus performs a short gag, something to do with clowning. Alex applauds.
Thank you. It's nice to have someone who supports me, unlike Jessica, or the clown community.
Who needs Jessica? Who needs the other clowns? I've grown to admire you over the course of one short Ferris wheel ride.
Ironic that it's been such a roller coaster of emotion. Thank you, Alex, for being the first person to show love for the clowning arts, or for me.
Well, I didn't care for you at the beginning of this ride, that's for sure.
They both jolt as the ride comes to the bottom.
That's the end of the ride. I bet you better go find your friends.
Yeah. Good luck clowning. I hope you find your community.
Alex gets up to leave.
Wait, Alex?
What?
Here.
Gus pulls something out of his pocket and hands it to Alex.
What is it?
It's a clown nose. If you ever want to take up clowning arts, it comes with honor. Wear it proudly and with purpose.
Thank you. I will wear it with pride.
You're the first person who appreciated me, or clowning, in a long time.
You've got a gift. Maybe I do too. We'll have to see.
We will.
Oh, and Gus?
Yeah?
You truly are magnificent.
And
Oh, God, they're so hard. Lisa, here's your microphone. Oh, thanks.
Okay. Wow. Asa, how did we come to write a play about clown geekery?
It honestly started with I started writing a play and it didn't pan out, and I needed to write a play. It was like 2 weeks before it was due, and so I sat down with my mother and I just spitballed ideas off her until I came up with a sad, depressed clown and a teenager, and then I wrote it, and it was a lot easier than trying to write something that didn't really have a story.
Okay. All right. Well, it's always good to have those spitball sessions with Mom. Great. I had a question about what did I have a question about? How did you decide to develop Alex as a character? I mean, he came in, you needed him to have conflicting motivations. How did you come up with Alex's storyline?
Yeah, so I started with Gus's storyline and just sort of him and developing him, and then I put Alex in it because I wanted him to be more of a character and not be someone that Gus was just bouncing off of. And so I kind of accidentally made him a stalker, which wasn't intentional, but and I think I wanted to flesh him out, and I thought that gave him a little bit of depth. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite moments when we'd established that clowns were creepy, and then he turned the tables and he's like, yeah, that's creepy, don't do that. That was really nice. Do we have comments that are coming up on the feedback? Sid. Analog Sid.
Okay. Love how it was funny, but somewhat serious at the same time. Love the idea. I feel bad for laughing. This is really funny. What did Jessica do?
Jessica definitely did something. She left, and I think she just didn't accept Gus for who he was.
Jessica. Nobody likes Jessica.
Someone asked, how long was the ride?
Oh.
How long was the ride? Well, I mean, however long the play was. So I think like 7 to 8 minutes,
8 minutes
ish. Yeah. So, or regular Ferris wheel ride.
And how do you feel about clowns? Are you afraid of clowns? Was that?
I am not. I do love clowns. I don't aspire to be a clown, but I think they're really cool, and I do like the clowning arts. And I had to do some research for this, so I appreciate them more.
There's a question in the audience. I'm going to run the microphone out.
A question and a comment. Have you heard of the playwright David Lindsay Abaire?
I have not.
Does anybody else recognize him? There's a play called Wonder of the World, and it instantly reminded me of your story. She is on the bus to Niagara Falls, and she's carrying a barrel on the bus, and she is planning on going over in the barrel and ending her life, and she runs into two people that are also going to Niagara, and the story kind of develops from there. But it's hilarious, and just you might feel inspired to read it and get more ideas from that.
Yeah, thank you.
Addison?
I really loved Gus as a character, and I'm wondering if in your research you looked into clown code at all.
Clown code? I did not look into clown code. I more looked into sort of clown names. I know about the clown, like the clown egg factory with the makeup, where each clown has a makeup that they have to trademark and then they put it on an egg, and what different things are called. So, but I did not learn about clown code. I'll be interested to look that up.
Yeah, clown code is pretty interesting. I think it's very interesting to see how that compares to Gus as a character.
We can just Google this. Okay, good. All right, great.
Hi, yeah, less of a question, more of a comment.
Thank you.
Any more from you, Sid?
People are just really asking about Jessica. And,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I thought about the cats.
Asa, I'm just too impatient to ask you after this. Didn't your play last year also involve a stalker kid?
It did, and I do realize that I wrote 2 plays about a kid who is a stalker. I promise that's not me.
Asa!
Yeah.
I think I have a long-time listener, first-time caller.
So why a Ferris wheel? I mean, more fatalities happen on like a roller coaster.
That's true. So Ferris wheel came. I wanted to put the 2 characters in a space together where they could, be. And originally the thought was roller coaster, but I came up with gondola because I also wanted to give the actors some range of movement around, and I feel like a gondola, you can stand up and you can move depending on how big the gondola is. So I didn't want to subject them to just sitting in a seat pretending they were on a roller coaster the whole time.
And the word for fear of clowns is colorophobia.
Colorophobia, thank you.
Yeah, I actually had that reminds me, the setting is, we oftentimes, we get to, as playwrights, we're completely unfettered by reality. But do you have any ideas if this had been actually staged? Would you want to see the full scale of it on the stage? Or how, as a playwright, would you envision the scene designer tackling this play?
I mean, really in any way. I didn't really envision it staged completely, but I mean it is being staged, and it's just sort of 2 chairs and they sort of sit in it and then sort of act out, and it's a very small gondola, and I think that's a really great way of doing it, and I think I wanted to leave it open.
Excellent. But when it hits Broadway, they could probably do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a couple more minutes, so I can take a couple more questions. You guys have not asked questions yet, right? Right? Yes?
All right, so this is also, Jessica is reminding me of Jessica from Who Killed Roger Rabbit, but also, was Jessica an accountant?
If you want her to be.
Asa, do you want to tell them the original ending to your play?
Yeah, the original ending was one that I really didn't like, but I had to finish the play, and the original ending was that they did fall in love. But then I realized that was kind of weird because I was imagining Gus as like a 40 to 50-year-old and Alex as a teen. So then I changed it so that it was sort of more of a mentor-mentee.
Okay, so one of my questions was going to be how old you imagined him, but you kind of answered that. But what if Jessica cheated on him with another clown?
Then who's the real clown? That's true. What if... I don't know what would happen if Jessica cheated on him with another clown. I feel like that could be, a sequel, revenge story,
Just when you get your comments that Sid has for you, apparently Jessica takes up a lot of the bandwidth. But remember, everyone, Jessica can be the projection of all of your wildest needs and dreams. Last question, Lily.
I love the play, but have you done like any musicals yourself that might have inspired you writing this?
Musicals? No, I have not. I've not done any musicals that inspired me to this, but I think the idea just came from like just finding two characters that were different from each other, and musicals, no. But if you want to write the musical of this play, I'd love for you to do that. And then it can go to Broadway.
Any last words from actors or anything? Well, let's give a round of applause to Asa Baker Rouse. Well, folks, we are out of time. We had clowns, we had shrimp, we had lemons, we had swordplay, and we had avatars of entropy. I'd like to give a thanks to John Hughes, Amy Brennan, Penelope McNulty, Brian Jenke, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Seth Jarvis, Frankie Fiddler, and Ramona Beskin for being our actors today. Let's give them a round of applause.